Geeks Boutique Podcast is a show for mature audiences only. Listen at your own peril. Landing now at the Piece of Junk Studios in Lexington, Kentucky, a cornucopia of nerd culture with news and reviews from the genres of comics, science fiction, horror, gaming, and even a little cosplay. It's the Geeks Boutique Podcast. And now, here's your hosts, JD, Zack, and Jason!
Hello, adventurers! We're coming to you with another bonus episode this month to review the newest release for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition called Tales from the Yawning Portal. Zack, Scott, and myself have an ongoing D&D 5.0 home campaign, have been players for quite a long time. Ken, who thankfully and graciously volunteered to step in at the last minute to join our session, plays locally here in the Adventurers League. Guys, just to get the players a little interested in our D&D history, let's tell them how we got into the hobby, what our history is with, and when we first got our feet wet dungeoneering. Zack, you want to take off?
Yeah, I guess the way I kind of got into it was probably maybe 10 or 11, and got a chance upon the monster manual a bit, and saw that and thought it looked really cool, and got that, and then had some friends in the neighborhood that knew how to play, and their family had played, and so I guess it was kind of like a tradition with that group, and got into it from there, and just loved it ever since.
Have you been playing consistently or on and off since then? Or
honestly, it was a big gap for about 5 or 6 years that I didn't get the chance to play. I played a lot of Pathfinder for a while, played some of Werewolf the Forsaken, and then got into the adventure group, and then into our little small group for D&D 5e. Played 4th edition, 3.5, and Pathfinder too, all at the same time. So
sweet. Scott, how about you?
I guess my path was a little different. I'm as everybody who knows me pretty well, I'm crazy into Star Wars, and so way back in the day, they had these really cool D6 the Star Wars role-playing game, which from an informational standpoint, as somebody who's like reading everything that they possibly can to like suck it up like a sponge. The source books for the D6 role-playing game were really cool, and they were really informative. Had a lot of background information on a lot of the different characters and ships and whatnot. So I got into it purely for my love of Star Wars, and I kind of wanted to, like, I don't see role-playing games as a game per se. I actually see them more as simulators. And so I had an interest in it as, kind of in a creative capacity, being able to immerse myself into the Star Wars world through the means of, this gaming system, basically. And so that's kind of how I've always seen it. And, I'm very, kind of creative centric, and that's the way I've always seen it. And of course, I had friends in high school that were in D&D, and I had a real good friend when he was one of my coworkers. He actually invited me in and DM'd some games for me, and I fell in love with Dungeons & Dragons too. So, I don't have as much experience with Dungeons & Dragons as I do Star Wars, but, it's a lot of fun, and any time that somebody invites me in on a game, I'm always excited to play.
Ken, how about you?
I also started when I was young, about sixth grade. That was back when, if you remember, The Lord of the Rings, the cartoon version.
Oh,
was
yes,
out.
It's classic.
Yeah, by Ralph Bakshi. And so I was kind of hooked at that point. My first book was also Monster Manual. If you remember, you could buy all the books at Toys R Us back then. And so I played for a number of years by myself because, I had no friends back then.
You can do that?
Yeah. in your imagination, yes. And that kind of led to a spin-off into other role-playing games, Top Secret, Gamma World, Star Frontiers. So I kind of hit the gambit back then. I did take a break from role-playing right after high school, so I could actually score a hot wife.
And did that work out?
It worked great.
Okay.
She had no idea I was a nerd.
Well, what am I doing here then?
So, what are the stats on a hot wife? Like, how do you roll that up?
Yeah. How do you do that?
What's her charisma?
Well, you have to have the underwear in your head and use electricity.
And a nat 20 was involved. Correct.
And then I got back into it tail end of 4th edition and then 5th edition that, just recently came out. So been loving it since it's come back.
Cool. I guess I have the same history, going way back. I mean, I was probably early elementary school, and there was this kid that lived down the street. I feel like everybody tells the same story. A kid that lived down the street from me. But he was the kid that had, like, all the toys. We'd go to his room, and you're, like, tripping over the Millennium Falcon and all the TIE fighters. If it was a toy or a product, this cat had it. He was the only child. Maybe that's why. But he was friends with my older brother, and so I always followed them around because that's what you do when you're the younger, pesky brother. And he sat us down one time in his room, and this was probably 82 or 83. And he's like, "You guys ever tried Dungeons and Dragons?" I had no idea what they were doing, but I was hooked immediately. And I kept annoying my mom and dad. I got to have this Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And nobody knew what I was talking about, so they bought me. It must have been like Advanced D&D First Edition, not the classic red box, but it was blue. It must have been some. I haven't seen it since. And it was some weird expansion. It came with a set of dice, and they were all this weird blue plastic. And again, it was like an expansion or something. So like Ken, you were saying with the Monster Manual, I had no idea how to use it just as a standalone. So just kind of sat in the closet, and I just kind of like always looked up at it like, oh, that's so cool. I wish I had some idea what I was doing.
Hey, kid, want to buy some D&D?
Yeah, I know. I thought it was cool and had like these mystic powers, and I never learned how to play from it. I didn't get back into it again probably until college when they had, it must have been 2nd edition days, and they had like a simple kind of starter box. It was more rectangular shaped. It was black and had a big dragon on the front. I think it was their attempt to like make an introductory level D&D because it wasn't as nearly as advanced as Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And I got into that and played that a lot with my college friends, and then did a lot of 3.0 with some friends, and I DM'd 4th edition for a couple of years. Got some friends up to about 11th level. And now we're into 5th, and I've run Tyranny of Dragons at home with you guys. We're about to start Rise of Tiamat. Did a little bit of stuff with the Adventure League here in town. That's how I met Ken and Janine.
And me.
That was Pathfinder, I think.
Yeah, never mind. It was Pathfinder.
So, yeah, love it. Can't get enough of this stuff. So, what we've done today, we've invited in our local, celebrity DM, Janine Hempy, Dungeon Master, Dungeon Mistress, I guess. Janine organizes and runs the Adventures League here, the Play Network here in town, in Lexington through D20 Hobbies. Janine, can you introduce yourself like the guys just did and tell us about your history and your love of role-play games, and then go on and tell us more about like how you organize things here in town, what your role is with D20, and how you keep all these cats herded and playing role-play games.
No.
All right, next segment. I rolled a critical one on my interview skills.
I started playing 5th edition about 2 years ago. I started with a home game, playing with some friends, and it was a lot of fun, but we only played, was it 2 years ago? Maybe 3 years ago? But we only played once a month, and that was sad.
I know how sad that can be.
Leave me alone,
Jason.
Yeah. Takes a lot of prep.
Yeah, only once a month. And then one of my friends mentioned that there was this thing called Adventures League, and that they played Adventures League games at D20. So I showed up one day, and I started playing, and it was a lot of fun. There were really great people there. Some of my best friends now are people that I've met through the Adventures League program at D20. And so I started that season. That was Out of the Abyss, and I played as a player. And then when they announced what the next season was going to be, which was Curse of Strahd, I lost my mind because when I was like a middle schooler, I had like the red box, the blue box, I had the AD&D books, and I had one module, and that was
You had the blue box?
I did. I had the blue box.
Thank God. I thought I imagined the whole thing.
No, you didn't. You didn't. But I wasn't going to correct you and tell you that you were sane.
Okay.
Because it's more fun to think, just to let you think that you're, kind of nuts. So I had Ravenloft. It was the one module that I owned, and of course it was inappropriate for any of the intro characters that we would have rolled up. And when you're in middle school, you don't really play by the rules. You just kind of play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was so excited about that, and we were talking about who was going to Dungeon Master for the next season, and I said, guys, I'm happy to try, but I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need some guidance. So what actually ended up with happening was my natural tendency to take over everything came through, and to control. You're the second person in like a week to mention the word control. Hi, cat.
That's the cat.
We've had a
Studio
random
cat.
animal companion. We rolled up an encounter already, and Scott Don't Fuck Around Dills animal companion has joined us in the studio and is wreaking havoc on the boom stand.
We've done 3 recordings so far. Never seen the cat once.
Yeah. The cat said, "Fuck your recordings," but
That's
now
the
that
cat's
there's
butt
people-
you hear bumping against Janine's microphone.
The
It's
cat's got a challenge rating of what? At least 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
probably half.
I am
maybe
not
a
putting my
quarter.
face next to the
No, I'll give
microphone
the
at
cat a-
all for the rest of the night.
I give the cat a challenge rating of 20. I mean, he's got a pretty high charisma. He's pretty cute. He bats the eyes at you, and he's a likable
He's a
cat.
nice kitty.
He's a likable cat. I
So-
mean, he was like 1,000 times larger than our horses on the table. So
Those are special horses.
Those are 3D printed horses.
Those are special horses. I will tell you the story of those special horses, but I honestly, I don't know if you're worthy of the story now,
Probably
let alone
not.
to use the horse.
probably not.
So,
Nope.
nope. Yeah, just nope. Yeah, so I've been dungeon mastering at D20 ever since Curse of Strahd. We had 2 tables then, and we're up to 5 on Wednesdays. We've got 2 tables on Thursdays, and we have 1 table that's just started on Sundays. So the program's it's really great. Lots and lots of good people come through. This is a fantastic season to start playing D&D because we're emphasizing role play in our games, and if you're
Excellent.
yeah, it's something that we didn't do in previous seasons, but we're putting a lot of emphasis on it, making sure that the players get to really express who their character is, so that it's more poignant when those characters die. That's a joke. That's a joke. We don't kill characters. We just have you wake up naked in jail, and then you have to try and find all your stuff again. So it's kind of like
Some of us actually want that. So
I was about to say, how many times have you done that to Ken so far?
Hitting a little too close to home for me.
I start off that way.
actually, I have done that once to Ken.
D&D got a little
Okay.
too real. Had to cap out.
So I'm getting a little nervous over here. Am I right? Cool. So if anybody in the Lexington area is D&D curious and they'd like to get involved with the Adventurers League, what do they do?
Oh my God, you friend me on Facebook. Oh my God. So D20 has their own Facebook page, and then we have another one. It's called 5e D&D at D20. That's where most of the conversation and announcements occur. We're on the event schedule for both the D20 page and the 5e group. Just show up. I've got pre-gens for you if you don't have a character already, or if you want to build one yourself, that's cool. We'll double check, make sure everything's kosher. We play Adventurers League rules, which are some restrictions on top of 5th edition. So basically the character that Zach is going to play tonight is illegal. But because this is a home game, we get to express ourselves in new and interesting ways, including being able to fly at first level.
Honestly, for those that don't know, including myself, what is it that makes this character illegal for adventure?
It's the flying.
Oh, really? You can't, even if it's a racial thing, you can't fly at first level?
Yeah, flying at first level, generally a bad thing.
Is it
It kind of-
specific also to the, what was it, Princes of the Apocalypse scenarios?
I don't know. It just breaks the game if you can fly.
And so, Janine, do they prohibit the race or allow the race, but just say he can't fly?
I don't think you're allowed to fly at first level.
We can hold him down and cut his wings
Yeah.
off. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, but he can come clipped.
Try and die. And the entire first module was the party fighting itself.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't had a player who wanted to play in Aarakocra yet. Everybody gets really excited about, let's see, nobody wants to play humans.
What?
Because
Yeah,
humans
nobody-
suck.
So-
Half elves are pretty sexy. That's usually another good one. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I get, let's see, lots of people like to play tieflings and
That's what I played the first time. Go around.
and dragonborn because you get fire breath.
Yeah, it is pretty sexy.
Yeah, or well, some sort of breath weapon. Doesn't have to be fire. You could,
But can they fly? Nope.
yeah, but you really, if you were playing in our AL game, you couldn't fly at first level either.
Oh.
I know, poor baby.
In my heart, I will always be free.
So what we brought the professional DM tonight to do with the fellas here is that we're going to play a little
Wait a
bit.
second. Professional means I get paid, right?
You got you a couple bags of M&Ms there. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
We're going to pay you an exposure. That's what we pay all the artists
Yes.
in. This is going to be really great exposure.
One of our 2 listeners is going to hear this podcast.
Exactly. It's going to be great for exposure. It's going to really get your name out there.
Could
This
be
is-
Chris
yeah.
Perkins. He may be listening right now.
We can't afford to pay
my
you.
God.
I have to have her fly her to Seattle now.
We can't afford to
do his
pay you, but it's great for exposure.
Yes.
Oh.
Exposure bucks.
So, what is it that you do for a living, and what can I mooch off of that you guys provide?
3 hugs,
Aww.
Actually,
a crisp high five.
I was going to save this for the end of the podcast, but I did paint up a miniature for you that you can have. I was going to talk about the new miniature line after the podcast because we're using a few of them tonight. And I bought the female monk pack from Nolzur's Marvelous Unpainted Miniatures. And you get 2 in the box. So I painted one for my friend Vicky. She's a female monk, and I painted the other one for you so you could have it as a minor token of our appreciation for.
You guys can't see this, but it's really awesome.
It's okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
I donated my crisp high five to get in that, so it's really from the group.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They don't pay me either, so.
We really don't pay him.
One day when we hit the big time. Anyway, Janine's going to take us through a little bit of the newest release, the Tales from the Yawning Portal. This just came out, end of April, I think, or maybe early April of this year. It's a 5th edition kind of reworking adaptation of a lot of these classic dungeons, going back all the way to actually before there was a D&D, some of like home stuff that Gary Gygax would run with his family. So in the book, you get, I think, 7, Against the Giants, Dead and Fey, Forge of Fury, Hidden Shrine of John, Sunless Citadel, Tomb of Horrors, and White Plume Mountain. So all these have been reworked and added in the 5th edition rules and stuff, and they're all collected in the new book, Tales from the Yawning Portal. So we're going to do some gaming from one of those scenarios, and at the end of that, we're going to get back together as heroes and talk about our daring deeds, and kind of review the book and say what we think about it and give our opinion. So listeners, gather around the hearth and stoke up the fire, pour yourself a mug full of your favorite brew, and settle in for a good yarn.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Okay, so now we're going to begin playing through a small portion of the actual adventures from Tales from the Yawning Portal. If you intend to play through these scenarios as a PC, as a player character, then you should probably stop listening now. Come back after you've died to see how the pros handled it.
All right, you guys start your adventure where everybody starts an adventure, drinking in a bar.
Way ahead of you.
You are in the Old Boar Inn. The Old Boar Inn is in Oakhurst, which is a small town. It's out in the middle of nowhere. You've traveled here on the New Road. The New Road is actually a pretty good road. It's well-traveled, so it's nice, smooth going. Lots of folk going back and forth, and they stop frequently at Oakhurst. Oakhurst is primarily a human settlement. The town has about 900 residents. There are some halflings and a few sprinkling of other races, but for the most part, it's humans. You are sitting in the Old Boar Inn, and the bartender, whose name is Garen. This is so nice. I really like it.
The hills are alive with the sound of music, truly.
Garen comes up. Are you going to be sitting at different tables? Have you met yet?
No, I'd like to be at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be the lone Birdman hanging out there in the bar. All eyes on me and my glorious plumage.
Okay,
I'd like to ask Garen if he's ever seen such a creature before. I'm from Cormyr, and we don't see many bird people.
Garen just kind of shrugs and says, meh, if he pays, we serve him.
I hear this and kind of look over at you, and I do that weird, like, parrot bird thing to where, like, the people gets bigger and smaller while I'm kind of, like, judging you all of a sudden, sizing you up.
No, I'll go back to my drink.
We've also got a bard who's playing subtle, sweet notes in the corner.
Thank you all so much for coming out tonight and listening to me play a little bit. My name is Loot Sky Rambler from Loot Sky Rambler and the Heartbreakers.
And sitting in the corner, looking barbarous.
Yeah, Wolf here. I'm eating food and drinking. I'm still hungry.
Garen stops by your table one more time and brings you your third chicken of the night.
It's delicious, thank you.
That guy's going to eat every fucking chicken in the place.
But
And-
not Henry.
Oh, call back to a previous game. Not the celibate chickens. Only the fucking chickens.
Hey, bartender man, he's eating all the chicken. You save some. I thought you said, you were going to pay me tonight with some chicken dinners. Like, just make sure you save some. Put some to the side.
We've got you covered, bud. We've
All
got
right.
you covered.
Thank you.
Birdman, what are you eating?
I would assume the Birdman Kron is I don't know. I think he would be eating. He might even be eating chicken. He might be slightly deranged at this point. I mean, he is a carnivorous. He is like a picture just a giant anthropomorphic raven is what he is, and they are carnivorous birds. So,
But are they cannibalistic birds?
He is.
He is. Yeah, why not? No, I think he's got like a rabbit haunch that he would be eating.
Rabbit? Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of horrified. Like, he's fairly new to this area. He's just out on his pilgrimage now. So he's watching like people eating birds, and he's slightly perturbed and a little bit nervous. He's not loving life right now.
Is he twitching a little bit? Are his feathers kind of ruffled?
Yeah, their feathers are a little ruffled, and he's still doing that weird, like, people thing where, like, parrots do when they're thinking about something. He's just not sure what's going on right now.
Okay. Well, you guys are not the only people who are in the tavern, of course. The Old Boar Inn is a very popular stop. There are locals. You can tell them because they're dressed like farmers, like shopkeepers, simple folk, not pretentious, not too fancy. And then you can tell there are a few other adventurers. These folk are equipped much like you are. They have weapons. They have backpacks. They look dusty. They're rough from travel on the road. They're tired. They've got scars. There are a few of those, but for the most part, it's townfolk. And the townfolk are whispering. They're talking about an apple. You hear some words that are dropped. Apple is one of them. You hear something.
That sounds delicious.
They're talking about the apples. They're talking. You also hear the word "sunless citadel" spoken in hushed whispers.
Sunless Citadel.
Do I know anything about the Sunless Citadel?
You may. You'll have to make a history check.
That will be a 9 for a history check.
Okay, this is your freebie. I'm going to give this one to you because it helps the story move along.
Okay, great.
Not because you're excellent at rolling dice. Yes, you do remember something about the Sunless Citadel. In fact, it might be the thing that brought you here.
On my pilgrimage.
On your pilgrimage. The Sunless Citadel was at one time a retreat for members of a dragon cult. And something mysterious and strange happened to it, and now no one speaks of it. Except here, in this bar.
That is exactly what I'm here for, because the Aarakocra are not friends with dragons by any means. There's been like enclaves of Aarakocra that have been completely burned out by dragons. So I'm all for going to see the dragon cult. Maybe dispense some bird-like justice with my talons of truth.
Yeah, what is that exactly?
I'm
Pooping
gonna
on people?
shit all over the Citadel. I'm gonna shit on the Citadel.
Garen, excuse me. There seem to be a lot of adventurer types in the bar tonight. Is something going on in town?
He says, well, I kind of assumed you're here for the same thing.
Might be.
We're approaching midsummer. At midsummer, for the last 12 years, goblins have arrived, and they have brought with them an apple, a magic apple. This apple they claim that will heal any ill.
Nobody eats it, do they?
Well, at first we didn't.
I do.
Aside from this fella.
Well, that fellow looks like he'll eat anything. I mean, this is his 4th chicken now.
But the goblins have touched it.
Yeah, I point to him. How about he looks good.
Feather ruffling increases.
He says, the goblins have been bringing this apple, one apple, every midsummer. It's a perfect apple, a beautiful apple. They started, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago. This first apple, when they came, now, we don't see many goblins. Goblins, they don't mix with us very much. The first one, they said that it was a magic apple, and they wanted to sell it to us for as much as we would pay, but we were not really interested. We didn't believe their story. But then somebody took pity on them, offered them, 2-3 gold coins for it. We took the apple, the goblins left. We just kind of hung on to it. It was curious, because it actually was a flawless apple. We're farmers here. We see fruit in the fields, fruit in the orchards all the time. Apples don't grow like this. It was strange. And it never turned brown. It stayed this perfect rosy red. For a while, it was sort of an amusement. We kept it here in the bar. We kept it on the shelf right over there. And he points to the hearth. There's a shelf above it. It's got some antlers on a rack and a few other curios and trinkets. And he tells you, so we kept it. And we remembered the story, and we kind of joked about it. And then one day, a cart rolled over the blacksmith's son and broke his leg. He was in terrible pain. And we were afraid we were going to have to... that he was going to lose the leg.
Yeah, that sucks. I've had that happen. It's not fun.
But somebody remembered the apple and remembered the story. And we figured at this point, why not? So we fed him a slice of the apple, and his leg healed. We were astonished. We were also kind of scared, because really goblin fruit, it was a little frightening.
Yeah, I don't think I would trust goblin fruit.
No.
In Comer, we would never eat such things.
So the next year, next midsummer, the goblins come back, and they bring us another apple. Some people in town were curious. Some people wanted the apple. Others thought it was bad magic. Others thought it was evil. We paid more this time. They threatened to take the apple to another city, but we didn't want that. So we bought the apple, and we saved it, and eventually we used it. And every year we've been buying the apple. We give as much as we can afford, because this apple can save your life. It's healed, well,
Would
12
you say
people
that
now.
an apple a day keeps the clerics away?
I don't know if you'd want to eat one of these apples every day. We're still not sure.
Yeah,
They're-
not you. You couldn't handle it.
Have we met? My name is Volkamar.
Oh, hello.
He's breathing over my shoulder a lot.
So as Garen's
Would you
telling
like
you the
in on the
story,
conversation?
as Garen's telling you the story, some of the villagers start to gather around. He's apparently told this story many times. Some of them are chuckling. Some of them are actually doing what you can recognize as some kind of religious symbol, almost sort of a protection against evil, where perhaps they really do fear the apple. It's a curious story. It's not something that you've ever heard before, not something you expected to hear here at Oakhurst.
Barkeep, Kron wonders, what side effects were there other than beneficial? Kron knows dragons are not to be trusted. Correction, goblins are not to be trusted. Surely it was not without more of a monetary cost. Kron knows this.
Well, we've been watching. The people who've had the apples seem like they're fine, but we still keep an eye on them.
You say, seem like they're fine. Kron finds your word choice curious,
I find my word choice interesting.
if not deliberate, Kron thinks.
I might be telling a story, one that I tell often.
Kron knows that stories often have lies.
Stories often entertain the guests.
At this point, you see that he's actually getting a little jealous of the bartender because his crowd is like moving away from the stage. So he like comes up with this rousing little ditty that he plays. Adventurers, adventurers, I have a rousing piece for you. Bravely bold Sir Robin brought forth from Camelot. He was not afraid to die, oh brave Sir Robin. He was not in the least bit scared to be killed in nasty ways. Brave, 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 brave Sir Robin.
I think I've heard of this guy.
I'd like to raise my mug to him. Yeah, I like Robin.
He had a chicken on his shield.
Chicken.
Good taste.
So at this point, now that your attention is diverted from Garen, one of the villagers walks up, claps his hand on your back, and says, he tells that story to everybody. He tells it to everyone.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh. First I've heard it. I'm not from around here.
Oh, that's why he tells you. We all know what happened. Yeah, the goblins came by. They had the apple. The apple does seem to heal, but hey, there's so many other magic things that heal, right?
Yeah, he said they're coming again maybe tomorrow. It's midsummer.
Maybe a couple weeks. You know, it's getting close. It's getting close.
I think I'd like to stay and see this apple.
Yeah, it's worthwhile.
Saloon, goddess of knowledge, needs to find out more about this.
It does heal.
I am her agent in these lands.
Well, then, there you go. I wonder if it makes good apple juice or apple cider.
We'll find out, I guess.
I guess we might. So this fellow sits down, chats with you for a little bit. A couple of the other villagers will sit down. They also tell you stories. They're not nearly as dramatic and perhaps attention-grabbing as Garen's version of the tale, but they corroborate. They
Have
give
you
you
heard the
same
one about
details.
the magic carrot?
That's a lie. No one eats carrots.
Lute, he tells the barkeep that he's taking his smoke break, and he actually gets down from the stage and kind of wanders over, and he's in within earshot because he's fascinated with his story too, and he's kind of curious what is going on, so he's listening to the conversation.
Some of the Weatherdull farmers give you more or less the same story that they told to Volkmar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
To Volkmar, that yes, the goblins do come with an apple. It's not nearly as sinister as Garen might have made it sound. The apple does seem to have healing properties. As long as you can't just take a nibble of it, as long as you eat at least a fourth of the apple, it will heal a disease. It won't grow back, for instance, a severed limb. It won't. They've tried that because, farmers, they have injuries. It has healed somebody who had a condition of blindness that was brought on by disease. So it does do some stuff, and they try and keep it. They try and keep it for people who need it. It's usually taken to the shrine in town and kept there safely. But they're happy to have the apples. They have a sort of strained but positive relationship with the goblins. The goblins don't come into town except to sell this apple, except once or twice they've tried to come in with a white apple at midwinter. And when asked about the properties of the white apple, if it behaved like the red apple, the goblins shook their heads and said, no, opposite, different, other. And the villagers were a little scared of that. They got, after questioning the goblins a little bit more, they got the impression that the white apples were poisonous. So while the red apples would heal, the white apples would take away. And they wanted nothing to do with the white apple. That was only offered one time.
Master Bard, maybe you can write a song about these apples.
My lord, I can write the most finest of fanciful tales of beautiful piece of music for this, for sure.
I'm no lord. I come from a very humble family back home in Cormier. It's why I adventure now to try to raise money to open my own temple to Lady Sylvan.
Yeah. And Lute does this deep, kind of like overemphasized bow, like it's a little tacky.
Bow to this fella. He looks
at this point,
noble birth.
Wolf here is going to burp loudly, finish his chicken, push the table away.
As I was saying, noble birth.
And walk towards the man in armor.
Okay, you arrive just in time for the conversation to turn to the seeds of the apples. So some of the farmers are now they're kind of warming up to their story too. So where Garen wanted to tell you this gripping tale that grabbed you and made you think there were some sinister elements to it, the farmers are just really curious. They've tried. So once the apples are cut and they're distributed to people who need them, they've tried to save the seeds. And every year they've planted the seeds, and the seeds grow into saplings, and by the time they're about 2 feet high, they will simply disappear. The ground where they're planted will be slightly disturbed, but they'll just be gone. There'll be no footprints around them. They're just gone. And they've tried hiding saplings, they've tried watching the saplings, but as they start to grow, thinking, well, if the goblins can grow a magic apple tree, so can we.
I just pictured like a stoner's hydroponic grow shop, like hidden in some kind of closet in the tavern somewhere. These girls with grow lights, they're hiding their magic trees.
It's continual flame spells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really off the grid.
Sounds like these are GMOs. You can't grow it on your own.
Monsanto has come to D&D.
But that's what they're more curious about. They're more curious about what happens to the seeds. And they're suspicious of the goblins. They think that the goblins are sneaking in and somehow stealing the saplings, uprooting them and taking them away so that nobody else can grow the magic apple trees.
That's probably right. Goblins are thieves.
But they're real curious. They're not so, it's sort of become a game with them, a game with the villagers. They try to plant the seeds someplace where the goblins won't find them, but still, when those saplings hit a certain size, they're gone. They think it's sort of a challenge to them now. They're okay with getting the one apple. They'd like to have more, but one has been serving their village pretty well. But now it's sort of a challenge and a game, and they're really curious. They really want to know how the goblins do it. And one of the old farmers says, we give about 50 gold for the apple, but I bet we could scrape together a little bit more if you could figure out how they get the saplings back out.
Are there any planted now in the ground?
No. They're all gone already. We're waiting for the next apple. When it comes in, we'll try again. If you have any ideas on where you think the saplings would be safe.
Kron wonders, where do the goblins come from?
That's a good question.
You don't know. They just appear.
They're goblins.
From what side of the town do they come in from?
They come down the old road. Now, the old road, you remember from when you walked into town, Oakhurst is actually built on a crossroads. The new road is well-traveled and well-tended. The old road is overgrown. You saw it as you were approaching the inn. It forms sort of an X that the city is built around. The old road is overgrown. If there were any paving stones, they're long covered up with moss. You can tell that there's very little traffic that comes through the old road. But that's where the farmers tell you that the goblins are coming from somewhere down Old Road.
Yeah, this is good. This is why Wolf came to here. Quest of the Apple. We need to get the gold so I can eat more chicken and rabbit.
I would like to accompany you. You may need some healing or the favor of Saloon.
Ha 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 ha.
At about this time, a woman walks in. You can tell that she's one of the villagers by the way she's dressed, but she's dressed a little bit better than some of the others. And she sits down at the bar, and she's greeted fondly by some of the villagers. They pat her on the back. You hear that her name is Carolyn. And some folks call out from the other side of the tavern and ask if she's seen Talgan and Sharwin lately. And she calls back no and shakes her head, and you can tell that she's kind of upset by it. A couple people pat her on the back and say, they'll be back.
I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, Sir Bard.
It's Lute.
Lute.
My name is Lute,
As
yes.
in the instrument lute.
Yes, as in the instrument. But I only play a mandolin.
Okay. Are you from here in Oakhurst or the vicinity?
Oh no, I've traveled many, many miles. Oh. This is just merely a stop along my many-year voyage.
The big fella and I were thinking about looking into this goblin thing. If you'd like to accompany us,
I would totally love to accompany you. I'm fascinated by the story. There's many tales that I can spin into to big stories to entertain my crowds.
And have you seen that raven human before here? Is he?
Oh, the raven human?
The large, I don't know what he is.
Oh, you mean Big Bird?
I've never encountered such a creature in my travels. Is he a regular in this pub?
I've never been here before. I actually came here in the morning and made arrangements with the barkeep to actually play the inn tonight for a minimal fee of free food and lodging.
No, of course.
Yeah.
He could be useful scouting ahead for the goblin trails.
Yeah. Can he fly? I wonder.
I don't know. Wolf here. Why don't you ask him?
Big Bud, hey, you.
I'll be over here.
If
Show me your
you have
wings.
questions of Kron, you may address Kron directly.
Oh, Kron. That's your name.
Kron hears you wish to look into the events of the goblins.
My new friend Metal Man here in the bar, they want to know if you can carry us. Yeah, pick us up and fly us to the place.
Kron is not what you call carrier pigeon. Kron is a noble Aircrowan. I will journey with you. You may further my pilgrimage.
I may have made an error in judgment. Master Bard, why don't you talk to him?
I
do you
heard the Big Bird comment.
Oh, you heard that. I'm sorry. Well, you are a rather large bird, my friend. So do you have musicians in your kind?
We know of musicians. Yes, we have heard of them. Strange creatures indeed.
Yeah,
we produce our own music. All better singers than you could ever hope to be.
I have some songs I could probably play for you, but
they would be only as nails on a chalkboard to my refined ears.
Oh, well. Do you like dice games then?
We enjoy shiny objects.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fabulous then. So me and the fellas here, I've met these two guys. They're wanting to perhaps pursue this apple venture. Do you have any interest in that?
It may further my pilgrimage. I will accompany you as long as it benefits my needs.
Oh, okay. So what would that be?
My business is my own.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nice to meet you.
At this point, Kron kind of bows slightly towards you.
Lute again does this over-exaggerated kind of tacky bow.
At about this time, the woman who came in a little while ago has apparently overheard parts of your conversation, and she brings her mug of ale over and says, "Did I hear you right? Are you going after the goblins?"
What, thinking about it? I think
Oh yeah, we'll smash
I
them.
think we've reached a mutual understanding here.
It seems that if I follow the large, smelly human creature, there will be much glorious slaughter.
She said, "Well, I'm not sure about that, but what I am sure is that some folks like you, the shiny kind that have the weapons and stuff, came in here about a month ago, and my son and my daughter followed them out with the intention of going to investigate the goblins and the apple. and they haven't come back yet.
They are most likely dead. Your continued pursuit of this is fruitless.
Very direct manner of speech you have, sir.
You should not waste your time with such petty manners. You can have more children.
Perhaps we can look for them. What were their names, and can you describe them to us?
My son is Talgan. He was practicing with the sword, learning the ways of fighting.
Clearly it did not benefit him if he has not returned.
Okay. Bird guy.
Yes, human woman.
You're kind of like lay eggs and stuff.
Our lifespans are short, but glorious in comparison to your long and dull human lives.
So, do you have, like, chicks back at your nest?
I bet they're delicious.
Okay, I like you better than I like the bird guy.
We have children, and they are pushed from the nest when they are ready to fly.
Okay.
Some survive, some do not. Those who do not were not meant to live.
Okay. Human folk, including all the folk who are around here looking at you right now, like their kids. And they're sad
I have
when they
heard
go
their
away.
kids are delicious, yes.
At this point, some of the villagers are starting to get a little antsy. Apparently, this is a woman who's well-liked in town, and her children were well-liked too. And,
Does she tell me this?
no, but you're starting to pick up with your remarkable passive perception of what, like...
Because I
maybe-
was going to tell her if she's well-liked, she should have no trouble finding a suitable match to have more children with.
Yes, your remarkable passive perception of 13. You start to pick up on the hostility of the crowd around
I'm
you.
so sorry, madame, about my foul friend. But
Well played. It kind of hurts.
She turns...
In my short time amongst the avian people, I've learned that they speak very directly, and they use a lot of sarcasm. So don't take his meaning too directly.
She's not buying it.
What is this sarcasm that you speak of?
She says, look, I'm just worried about my kids. They're grown. They can make their own choices. I know that they're going to leave eventually, but I'm a little worried. There was a paladin who came through. His name was Sir Brayford. He had a magic sword, a very persuasive guy. He was interested in going to investigate the goblins. He was also here on a mission to go to the Citadel. He was with a kind of sketchy ranger guy. His name was Caracas. The two of them met my son and daughter. They talked late into the night. The next morning, the kids told me they were leaving, and off they went. And I haven't seen them since.
And what was your daughter's name?
Sharwin.
Sharwin.
She's about this tall. She's young. She was
What color of hair?
brown hair, brown eyes, complexion like me. There's family resemblance. She's my daughter.
Okay.
So we should find them and spank them and send them home.
They're probably a bit old
I don't
for
want
that.
you spanking my daughter.
They've most likely been sold off into slavery or killed.
What is with the bird guy?
Sarcasm.
Yeah,
What is
don't
this sarcasm you speak of?
don't listen to him. He's delicious. Don't listen to his words.
She tells you that you'll know them, even if for some reason you can't tell from their appearance,
If they are charred or mangled, as they most likely will be.
by the signet rings that they bear.
On
And
their
she holds-
corpses?
At this point, she goes like this, raises her arm and snaps her fingers. Everybody in the bar stops talking. They all look at her, and then they look at you. She calls out, Birdman, you won't be welcome here if you say another word about my kids.
Yeah, I agree. He poops on the floor too. You should kick him out.
Gron just kind of tilts his head and just chirps a little bit.
Let's see.
Lute claps his hands. Well then, I think we should have a rousing song. I'll go up to the stage and play a number for you.
Meanwhile, while Lute is entertaining and getting the tone of the bar to simmer back down, Carowin tells you a little bit more about her children. She shows her own signet ring. It's gold, and it has the insignia of, I don't know, let's make up an insignia. Let's say,
Like a slaughtered bird or something.
yes. The crushed skull of an Aarakocra is their family crest.
Oh, yeah, welcome here to begin with.
That's not going to go over well.
So she shows you the signet ring. It's actually, it's very recognizable. She tells you that if you can bring back her son and daughter, that she will gladly reward you. She says if you can't bring them back, if for some reason you don't find them or if they can't come back, and at this she kind of gets a little choked up. You can tell that she's worried. She says, if you can bring back the rings, at least I'll know what happened.
Of course.
Okay. So with that, the rest of the evening passes a little bit more entertainingly than the beginning part of it did. Birdman is ignored the human members of the party. Folks in the tavern just kind of simmer down. They are curious. They don't see very many non-humans, but they've kind of gotten all that they need out of him. He's provided the entertainment that he's going to. At the end of the evening,
in his odd way, he is offering to help.
In his odd way, yeah. They're just not sure how to pick up on that.
His people are enigmatic and mysterious.
And fraught with sarcasm. The next day...
social.
So you are invited. Once Garen realizes that you are going to not only look for the source of the apple, to investigate what's going on with those weird saplings that disappear, trying to figure out what's going on with the goblins. Once he realizes that you're actually going to help Carowyn look for her kids, he shows you his softer side. He offers you free room and board tonight, so your drinks are on him.
That's good, yeah.
He looks at you and says, "No more chicken, though. I draw the line at 7.
Okay, but free beer, right?
I draw the line at a gallon."
Oh.
Is there a temple to Lady Saloon in this village?
There is indeed a shrine.
It's not a place I could stay, though.
No.
Okay.
The shrine is dedicated to Paylor.
I'll stay at the inn.
Okay. You're given free room and board. They're not private rooms. You've got space to roll out your bedroll in a common room, but it's close to the fire, and it's comfortable. In the morning, Sherwin tells you to go ahead and stop off at the Mercantile on your way out of town in case there's anything that you need. She's happy to help provision you, hoping that in good faith you will return with her children.
Okay.
Okay. You pass an uneventful night. It's warm and comfortable inside the Old Boar Inn. And in the morning, when you wake up, you are given a breakfast of bread and cold stew with some watered-down ale to go with it. And then you are pointed in the direction of to the general store. And there you meet Carowyn, who is bustling about organizing barrels and baskets of goods for sale. She greets you with a big smile and asks if there's anything you need before embarking on your journey.
My funds are meager. I only have about 15 gold.
You're richer than me.
She has an extensive list of everything in the player's handbook that is under 25 gold pieces.
How convenient. It's like Wall Mercantile.
Maybe we need to pool our money and buy a single healing potion.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
15 is all I have.
I've got 15 as well.
I am but a meager musician. 14 is all I possess.
I have 10.
Well, that'll do it, right?
Now, she tells you healing potions, you're going to have to go to the shrine for that.
Oh.
I've got all the other stuff, though. You need rope, you need...
Got rope. I can fly.
I have both axes. That's all I need.
All right. She points you in the direction of the shrine if you wish to go there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
She also tells you that she did speak with her kids a little bit before they left. Their plan was to head down the old road. That's where Sir Brayford and Caracas were planning to continue their journey.
I don't like the sound of this Caracas guy. It's not a friendly name.
And it's very ominous.
Too hard.
Yeah.
Caracas. He's a
Kron wonders, did your kids say what they were looking for down the old road?
Well, they were young. They were looking for adventure. But they were also very curious about the saplings.
So did they set off to find the saplings? Kron wonders.
Kron wonders the same thing Sherwin wonders.
Oh, God, it's catching on.
Now I wonder.
I have no idea what a Birdman says.
Carolyn wonders.
Pretty good.
You're kind of inventing Birdman as you go.
I'm totally... I'm winging it with Birdman.
Oh!
But I'm...
We need our snare drum.
His humor is really foul.
Yeah.
What's the sign I give when I want to break?
What did she say to her kids? I'm sorry.
The kids said that they were chasing adventure, that they were ready to leave the nest. I can do
they
it
had to
too.
spread their wings and fly. Take your bards all your own.
I'm sorry, the bard started this pun fest. So.
They said that they were going to follow Sir Brayford, that they were pretty impressed with him. They apparently had a pretty good conversation with him in the evening. He said a lot of
What
things.
deity was he pledged to?
Paylor.
Paylor. Okay.
He spent some time in the shrine. She says,
Probably bought the last heal potion.
Ugh.
paladins are like that.
Jerks.
No, right? But she tells you that that's what they said. They were going to head down the old road, and that they would come back as soon as they could.
Okay, we start there. We go down the old road and we look for your children, and then maybe some clues.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry. How long ago was it that the goblins actually came to the town?
Almost a year ago.
Oh, a year ago. So any tracks that we look for would probably they'd be worn down by now, I would think.
Possibly. I mean, the goblins only come to town once a year. We don't see them, but I don't know what they do outside of town.
Perhaps that's we should look for tracks. I don't know. I'm not a tracker. I'm just a musician.
Wolf here. You spent a lot of time in the wild, I presume.
Yeah, killing and eating.
So can you track? Can you hunt?
I'm okay, yeah.
Okay.
Kron wonders why you do not ask the bird of prey with your group if they can hunt and track.
I'm very unfamiliar with your people. I don't know.
Kron is slightly offended. Cacaw.
Well, I meant no offense. It's clearly he's...
I'm sorry to be rude. I'm really fascinated. I would love to see you fly. Do you think perhaps maybe you could circle around and see if you can see an encampment or something where the goblins live, perhaps?
Can I fly?
I know you
was
could.
the best flyer.
I believe you can fly.
Yeah, I think there's a song for that.
Yeah,
You're the bard.
there could be. I'll have to really think about that because I'm not actually sure.
Maybe if we hum a few bars.
Kron will fly better than anything you have ever seen. And Kron takes off flying. Just directly away from the party. Kron is gone.
It is majestic. You guys have never seen a bird this large take off from right in front of you before.
Okay, quick hide.
I can feel the swoosh of his wings.
You're buffeted by the wind as his mighty wings beat the air, and he takes off.
Nice trick.
Do I see anything on the ground once I take off and start flying?
Tell me where you're going to fly. Oakhurst is a small city. It's a small village.
I'm going to do a lap around the village just to kind of see if there's anything on the perimeter that might kind of tip me off.
Okay. Basically what you see from the air is pretty normal human settlement. There's outlying farmlands. There, as I said, Oakhurst is built on the intersection between two roads, one very well traveled and one that is obviously fallen into disuse. However, you notice toward the south, so in the direction that the old road would take you if you went to the south, that there is an area of blighted grass. It's shriveled, it's brown. It doesn't grow as well as the surrounding farmlands, which are fairly lush.
Okay. I'll go invest. I'll fly back to the party and tell them what I had seen. So I land with. I'm totally gonna do the superhero landing. The one knee and then the elbow, the hand down on the ground. That's the only way that I can land is with the superhero landing.
Take 2 hit points of bludgeoning damage.
Eat my shorts, Jason Carr.
Oh wait, I'm not the DM.
Exactly. Yeah. So sit over there, shut up, play your character,
Roll your dice.
Exactly, and have fun.
Wolf is impressed. Oh, you did it! That's so marvelous.
Do it again. To the south, Kron noticed. The grass, it lives not.
Oh, okay.
It seems
place to start as
different
any, I
than
suppose.
everything else, Kron noticed. Perhaps the place to start, near the old road.
What do you think, Wolf here?
Yeah, I think we said that already. We're going to Old Road.
Oh, I'm going to contribute something. You all asked me to do a fly song, so I'm going to do one real quick. Well, it started out a dusty road. It started out
I feel inspired.
all alone.
I feel like we should all get an additional D4 on something.
I just thought that was appropriate because, it's a dirty road that we're on. And it's learning to fly.
Yeah,
Kron
we love
sees
it.
what you
My
did
footfalls are much lighter.
I'm more ravenous now, thank you. I can eat more.
there. Are we continuing to the temple to buy this potion of healing?
Did they have a heal potion, or did the paladin nick it?
They do not have any healing potions. You are greeted at the door of the shrine by a perky little gnome by the name of... One
I'm
second.
not buying any perky gnomes.
Corky.
Oh, Corky.
I'm not making that up.
It's like a dog.
Corky?
Yeah.
Don't buy the garden gnomes. Stay away from them.
She's perky. She says, "Good morning."
Any heal potions in stock?
Oh, no. Sorry. We're fresh out.
Any free blessings to bestow?
Always.
All right.
She comes over and gives you a big hug around the kneecaps and says, "Blessings of Pelor on ya."
Thank you.
She does it to all of you, including Birdman.
Do I feel any different?
Palo, no, I want the blessings of Tempest. Can you give me Tempest blessings?
Nope, sorry.
Ugh.
Do I feel any different after being felt up by the gnome?
Your leg is warm.
and
I don't know, do
wet.
you?
Why is my leg wet? I don't like this.
It's like, how darling.
You're lucky she didn't pluck you.
That's for Geeks Boutique After Dark. So we've been fondled by the name.
So what brings you to Oakhurst?
The Festival of the Apple. We want the apple.
The apple. Oh, yeah. It's almost that time of year, isn't it? It's so exciting.
So we've heard, but some young adults have gone missing, and we'd like to find out what happened to them.
Oh, you know how kids are.
Kron believes they're most likely dead.
Well, that's awfully depressing.
Kron finds your depression unnecessary.
Oh, you're just saying that because you're all like raveny and stuff. I know inside you've got a good heart. You're smiling on the inside even though you don't have lips.
I do have a good heart. It is in a jar.
Yeah, it's
on my
delicious.
trophy to play.
Someone said that the paladin, Sir Bravert, and his friend Caracas stopped by here on their way to search for the goblins.
They sure did. Sir Brayford spent, a good afternoon here with me. We prayed, and we talked about the order. It was nice.
The order?
Oh, yeah, the
Your
order.
order.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, you blessed him and now he's disappeared?
Oh, no, I didn't need to.
Get it off! Get it off!
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't need to.
I can't spell it.
He's a holy man. He has his own blessing with him wherever he goes. No, that ranger fellow that was with him, Carney.
Caracas.
Yeah, that's it. He scouted out while.
Yeah, crop this, yeah.
He's one of them ranger types.
Well, Sir Brayford and I. Oh yeah, we reminisced. He grew up in the same town I did. It was nice. It was nice to see somebody from the old town.
Do you know anything else that might help us?
Well, I do know that he was going to the Citadel.
The Sunless Citadel. Yes, we
That
heard
sounds
that mentioned in the book.
impressive, yeah.
Oh well, I mean, if by impressive you mean dark, scary, and foreboding, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody, of course, has been there. I mean, we just don't go there. But, and we don't really know where it is. So it's hard to go there if you don't know where it is. You know how it is, need a map. But yeah.
Kron does not need a map.
Do you have a map then?
Oh, no. We don't have a map, no.
Then how did...
I mean, that would be handy for you because you're going there, but no.
Yeah, how did Kraptis find it and if he had no map?
He's a ranger.
Yeah, I guess they do that sort of thing. Well, they were just going to go down the old road.
Probably ask some squirrels. I don't know.
Us too, we going on the old road. We don't have a ranger, but we have Birdman.
Come to this temple I shall, nevermore.
Almost as good as GPS. And a good tracker.
Why is everyone asking me why I'm like a writing desk? I do not like this gnome in this village.
So Corky tells you a little bit more. She tells you that in her conversation with Sir Brayford that he was convinced that some legends that he had read about were actually in reference to the Sunless Citadel. He believes that the dragon cult that originally worshipped a dragon called Ashardalon, and that he believes that some sort of cataclysmic event occurred at the Citadel. And he was curious and wanted to investigate.
Okay.
He had picked up Caracas on the way, and that the two of them had been traveling, and that when they came to Oakhurst and they found Sharwin, who was beginning to show some magical power, and Talgan, who was quite a capable fighter, they convinced those kids to join their party, hoping to have some success finding the Sunless Citadel. He was also, as you were approached by folks at the inn, told the stories of the apple and the missing saplings. These kind of all sort of began to form a picture in his mind. He talked with Corky about it quite a bit while they spent their delightful afternoon together, and he told her that he would come back and share what he found, but he has not come back yet.
The ranger, Caracas, did he seem on the up and up to you?
She says, well, I guess. I didn't talk to him too much. He I don't know. He didn't like my hugs.
I know how he feels.
For some reason, I'm driven to be suspicious of this Caracas guy.
I'm over there just kind of preening myself, trying to get the gnome stench off.
Yeah, little gnome, Corgi, or what is your name?
Corky!
Or Corky.
Yeah, pleased to meet you.
No, I don't shake hands. Can you help us anymore? We have to go.
Well, that's about all I know. I mean, I really hope you find the kids because it really is their first adventure, and it would be such a shame if something happened to them.
Don't worry, we will find them.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, let's head out. We're losing daylight.
Fantastic.
All right.
To the old road.
You bid farewell to Corky and to the fair town of Oakhurst. You begin your travel out to the south on the old road. And very quickly, within 100 yards outside of town, you're already starting to see that the road it's shabby, it's in poor repair, it's slow going. It's not impossible. You're able to make fairly decent progress.
What about the blighted patch of grass?
The blighted grass starts about half a mile out of town.
Oh, okay, we're not there yet.
Not there yet.
Okay.
Well, it takes, just 10, 15 minutes of walking to get there.
Kron, are you walking with us or are you flying?
No, I'm totally flying ahead. I'm providing
man.
strategic overwatch.
Tie a string to him.
I make sure I'm not walking under him.
I fly 50 feet at a time. I have no need for your mortal legs.
I think
You're mortal too. Just want to say that. Just want to throw that out there.
Mortal-ish.
You're the slow guy in the armor, right? What's your movement?
Chink, chink,
I'm okay.
chink,
Voltmare?
I'm not sneaky, but I can go normal speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm flying ahead.
So about 10, 15 minutes out of town, you start to see the signs of some sort of blight in the grass. You haven't hit trees yet. You're still in sort of cultivated lands, but it's gradual but very noticeable that what were tall growing grasses, vines and undergrowth and bushes, they become shriveled and stunted. They're a brownish grayish color. The dirt shows between the blades of grass. There's bare patches. It starts to get dusty. Yeah, you can tell there's definitely something strange going on here.
Wolf here, what do you think? Have you ever seen grass in this state?
Yeah, it's like dead grass.
Does somebody want to roll a nature check?
Yeah.
Wolf does not want to roll a nature check.
Who's got the best intelligence? I've got a nature of 0.
I got a +1.
Well, there you go.
You are the genius.
I'll assist you with it.
I'm trained. And I got a 7, so that makes an 8.
I got a 9.
You guys are pretty sure you're out in nature.
You're right.
I told you, it's dead
we-
grass. I told
we
you.
have
Grass
checked.
sucks.
This is
Yeah.
indeed nature.
I've
Yeah, you guys-
smoked a lot of grass when I was with the Heartbreakers, but I've seen nothing like this ever before.
So yeah, it looks very odd. It strikes you as being unnatural and strange, but you just can't put your finger on what exactly might be going on here.
And is it patchy, or is it just a steady swath of dead grass?
It was a gradual shift from healthy vegetation to this kind of diseased, stunted, poorly growing
Is there like
stuff.
a point of origin, maybe?
Hard to tell. You might be able to get your avian companion.
Kron, what do your bird eyes see?
God, why do people keep using that line? I know it was in the book. I swear, I know it was in the book, but God, I hate it so much.
Does it seem like insects are avoiding this patch of grass? And are they dead in the grass? Like, if there's bugs in the grass, are they dead?
No. It looks like there's still wildlife there.
Okay.
There's just not as much of it. And you can't tell if that's because the grass isn't healthy and doesn't provide a good food for them, or if they are avoiding the area and only some of their number actually venture in.
Okay.
But you do occasionally see, a rabbit here, a squirrel there.
Oh, okay. So this is a pretty large patch of grass.
Oh yeah, I mean, you hit it. Yeah, this is a large blighted area. You hit it about half a mile out of town, and it continues on. And pretty soon you're walking, and everything on your left side, your right side, behind you, and in front of you, all of it is this blighted, strange.
Yeah, I want to
unfriendly
fly up and see if I can see a point of origin and see what my bird eyes see. I'm going to look with my special eyes.
You tip your head back and forth, looking through one bird eye and then the other bird eye. It looks like a very large area is affected by whatever this strange blight is. You can't tell where the center would be.
Okay.
You're going to have to do a bit more scouting.
You just read my mind. I was going to say let's go to the center of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep flying around till I see the center of this.
So how far
grass.
do you want to leave the party behind?
Oh God, never split the party. For those of you listening at home, never split the party.
You guys could set
Should
something
have
on
tied a
fire,
rope
too.
to him.
We can just continue walking on the path, and he can fly over and fly back.
Yeah, I'll do kind of like big ranging loops, kind of like a parabola kind of thing, or in a big elliptical. It's kind of out and around, just seeing what's around us as we move. That's a strategic overwatch for the party from the Birdman.
So how long are you going to do to continue this?
I guess for as long as we continue walking. I mean, the Eric Crow are natural flyers, so.
Okay, so you guys walk for about an hour. You're maybe 4 miles away from town, and about 3.5 miles away from town. And you are still in the middle of the blight. There is no sign of it stopping, and you haven't yet seen what appears to be the middle of it.
Are we still along the road?
Yep, you're still on the old road.
Is there any divergent paths off to the left or right? Or
Nope, not yet.
Have we seen anything out of the ordinary for a foresty road? Besides a bunch of dead grass.
Just the fact that everything's kind of shriveled and dead is kind of weird. But everything is reduced. So the amount of bird song that you expect. You hear some, but not as much as you kind of imagine that you should hear in the middle of summer. You see squirrels, but perhaps not as many as you think you should. Again, you can't really tell if it's because the vegetation is kind of shriveled and half dead, or if it's because there's something about the area.
I'm starting to get the impression after we keep walking that this is more of a climate zone than something that's locally occurring. Perhaps this road is the path. We should just keep following it until we run into something?
I suppose. I would think it is unnatural, though, if the animals aren't as populous. There's something that's carrying them away or not sustaining them, at least.
I mean, we can watch for like paths and stuff along the way, and maybe do a little tracking if somebody is good in that regard, and but just kind of forge ahead, you know.
Yeah, you should check for clues on the ground, Wolf, here, that he may not be able to see from his lofty perch in the sky.
Yeah, I can look through the dead grass and see what I see. Do you need me to make like a perception check or a wilderness survival check or what?
You could do survival if you want.
That's a 13.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you're looking
lucky
for
number 13.
You're looking for more clues about what's going on here?
Correct.
In your experience, this does not look like something that occurs naturally. The area of effect is now too large for it to be anything that you've experienced. You don't see any signs of forest fire. You don't see any signs of like strange like disease on the trees. It's all very odd. It's as if the whole area just doesn't grow well.
So, more something, like you say, unnatural, magical.
If I thought about religion or like negative divine magic that could cause such a blight, would I maybe gain some knowledge?
The death clerics, they could suck the life out of an area like that, like wither it.
So maybe my knowledge of religion could tell me something?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a religion check.
I've got religion too.
You can help me?
Yeah, I'll help you. And I'm trained in it, so.
19.
Yeah, I've got
nice.
a 9.
Wow.
I'll take the 19.
This kind of strikes you as some sort of
Scientology at work here.
some sort of cataclysmic event.
Sued.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Edit that part out.
Man, it sure has been fun making these podcasts.
I would just like to say I'm not affiliated with any of these channels.
We made it to number 4.
It looks like the signs of something cataclysmic that's happened here, but the scale of it is so huge. You just can't recall anything in your training, anything in your research, anything in your reading that would that describes some sort of effect that would be so vast.
And is it old?
It's quite old.
Okay.
It might be that some of the ground is starting to recover. The effect might have actually been worse in the past.
Oh, wow.
And nobody thought to mention this to us in the village?
Well, they did mention like, some cataclysm that overtook the cult and stuff. But
There's a sound of that, but nobody investigated.
they don't leave Oakhurst much, apparently.
Well, I mean, with a name like Oakhurst, who wouldn't want to be there?
I don't know.
So it does seem like this area is not freshly blighted. It has been here for a long time.
What you got here? Some old blight.
Yep.
Yeah, if I can kill it, I ignore it.
Okay. You walk for another hour, and then from the sky, you notice that there is, as you're approaching, we'll say like half an hour, as you're approaching from the sky, you notice that the old road continues on, and there is a deep ravine. The road just kind of ends at the ravine. And where the road ends, you see 5 very tall stone pillars. 2 of them are leaning kind of toward one another. So they're kind of like as if they have fallen and are holding each other up, and 3 are standing upright. They are on either side of the ravine.
I fly down and tell the party this.
Party, you hear this.
You hear Kron relays to you that there are that there are pillars of stone that we are headed towards. The road ends at a hole in the ground. It is hard to say what caused it, or if it has always been there.
Still surrounded by the blight.
Yep, blight on both sides.
Blighted on both sides it is.
Well, sounds
Kron
like we're
sees
getting
this.
warm.
Are you going for like a mix of Yoda and...
I'm like I said, I'm totally making it up as I go. I have
It's
no idea what a bird person sounds like, so I figure he's kind of like he's not from this plane of existence, so his speech might be a little stilted.
It's kind of cool to see how he's developing over time.
He's character fluid. There we go. It's 2017. I identify as an Apache attack helicopter over here.
And Wolf is very interested on how he's going to
Be more
taste by
helpful.
the end of the adventure. Be seasoned and delicious, I'm sure.
It's good to have a contingency plan. Eating one of your party members. Yeah.
If he dies, there's no promises.
Kron will fly away and leave you guys to die.
I like how we're all chaotic except the Birdman, who's the only lawful one.
Kron's got his own code that he follows. Like I said, he's not from this plane of existence, so his code might be chaos.
The code of the Birdman.
The code of the
You may be
Birdman.
lawfully following chaos.
Alien in thought.
The universe is continually moving towards entropy, so he might just be following the laws of the universe. Mind blown.
So we must go down in the ravine.
Let's do it.
How about I fly down the ravine, see what's down there, and then fly back up and tell you if that's a good idea or not?
Aren't you worried about something shooting at you or
He's so fast, no.
something flying up and attacking you while you're vulnerable?
He's such a strong flyer, he can do it.
Wait
I
a
know.
second, I've got an idea. I need to write something down.
Well, stand near the edge of the ravine, so in case something follows Kron, you can intervene.
Okay, my spells only have so much range.
I'll fly quickly.
I have javelin, it's okay.
How good are you
He's got a
with
sharp
that
stick.
javelin,
You're fine.
Kron wonders.
I am so good. I am the best.
Kron doubts this, but okay.
I want to look at the pillars. Let's go take a look at
Yeah, let's
what
investigate
they're
the
made
pillars.
from, if there's any icons on them or sigils. Or...
Okay, it takes another half hour, 45 minutes of walking, and you approach the pillars that your friend Kron has. It's Kron, right?
Yeah, it's Kron.
That your friend Kron has seen from the air. They are large. They appear to be very old. Let's go ahead and make some. What kind of checks would I like? Investigation checks.
What about insight? Something like
General sense of.
I don't mind investigating as long as I don't get my clothes dirty.
I rolled a massive 8.
roll a 14 to investigate.
A 9.
My number is so bad it shan't be spoken.
Would it be a natural 1?
No, in the
A natural
neighborhood
4?
with my bonus.
You can't tell a whole lot about the pillars. If only you had a dwarf with stone cutting or something like that in the party. That would be really handy right now.
Man.
But you don't have that, so you're just going to have to make do with...
Fly back to town and swoop down and grab one in your mighty claws and bring him here.
Are you an African or a European Kokra?
Perhaps I could find another bird person and carry him on a bit of string.
Grip him by the beard.
I know no one tosses a dwarf, but does anyone fly a dwarf? Vastly different.
You'd be dangling a dwarf at that point, wouldn't you?
God, I'm pretty sure it's a cardinal sin amongst dwarf culture.
I think we're breaking back into the night version, adult version.
The
Okay.
dwarf dangle. The dangle dwarf.
As long as you're not tossing a dwarf salad, I don't care.
What about what's a bearded hatchet man?
So back to those pillars. They appear to have been here for... They are old.
And not too soon.
They are old, generations old, maybe hundreds of years old, and they have been here for quite some time in this sort of semi-ruined state. From the top of the ravine, you notice that where the road meets the ravine, it sort of widens out. There's also what appears to be a fire pit that's sort of been blown over by dirt and sand. It looks like maybe it's been used, but you'll have to investigate it to kind of figure that out. There's also some stone stairs that are cut into the ravine. So it's as if you just kind of keep walking on the road, you're approaching the ravine, the road kind of widens into this clearing that's sort of beaten down dirt and stone. It looks like it might have been used as a campsite, and then there's these stairs that go down.
We
Wolf
shall
here.
go down.
Has the fire pit been used recently?
I'm too far away. I need to go down and look at it.
Let's go look.
Yeah, we will go down the stairs.
The fire pit is at the top. The stairs
Oh,
go
it's
down.
at the top.
The fire pit is.
Told
is
you,
at
it's
the
right
top.
over there.
I'll investigate the fire pit.
Wait, let me...
Yeah, someone used it. Yeah.
Saloon will aid you in your investigations of the fire pit.
Lute kind of ambles far back and strums his mandolin while paying attention, but kind of keeping his distance.
Can we have some fire investigation music, please?
Does anybody speak Dwarvish?
Yes.
You notice on the pillars, despite that wretched roll, you still notice on the pillars that there is...
Still read.
In this case, your passive perception saving you. So you notice that some words have been carved into the pillars.
Look, there's dwarven runes written in the pillars.
Joseph Arimathea. Ah!
Give me a moment to interpret them.
Does anybody speak Goblin? Not like that's important to future parts of the campaign. I'm just curious.
Is there like goblin graffiti written on the side?
You wonder. Okay.
No.
So you notice that the runes are in Dwarvish, and you can tell which letters they're supposed to be, but they spell out words that don't make sense to you.
Oh, because the goblins scratched away at it or chipped it off or something, or it's just old and weird.
It just the letters don't make sense.
Oh.
They're strung together. It
Just random letters.
sounds like gobbledygook to you.
Metal Man, what does it say?
I don't know. It's just random.
Why
dwarven
don't you
letters.
know? Why?
It doesn't make sense. It's not a language.
I think you are dumb.
Jumble of letters.
That's why we brought you, and now you're not doing it.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, forget the letters. We go down the stairs.
You're supposed to be working on the fire anyway.
Oh yeah, I checked the fire out. It was you. It's out right now.
I rolled to look and investigate the fire pit, and I vaguely have heard of this word fire. I was of no use.
I gave you Saloon's guidance. That's an extra D4 on you.
You don't know what fire is? It's good for cooking chickens and birds. Makes them delicious.
I have slightly heard more of this fire thing. We're
It's
at
reputed to be hot.
we're at a 7 total
Smoky.
for this
You
fire.
rolled 2 die, and
Like I said, I've heard of this fire thing.
This is a mystery we're not supposed to solve.
We're supposed to. We're just terrible at it.
It's not important. The important thing is killing.
guys.
Let's go down the stairs.
So the fire pit looks like it was probably used about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Inside there are what appear to be the broken heads of spears. And,
Someone was fighting the fire.
and
Fire
waka
one.
waka and small animal bones.
Kron believes the fire had to be fought. That is why the spearheads were there.
The animals lost. They died in the fire.
Sound theory.
They had spears.
I do believe that Kron believed that there was a small party of animals that fought the fire and lost. That is why they were consumed.
See, Metal Man, this is how you find out the stuff.
Hey, I believe in anything at this point.
I can't hold together any longer.
Let it out, man. It's therapeutic.
It's like I said, I'm Zack the Destroyer.
The hippie bard isn't helping much, Wolf here.
So we have
I don't know, I
determined
feel
that a
really
great
relaxed.
battle occurred here between
I
the
feel
small animals.
I'm soothing your nerves so that you can.
We should sing around the fire.
I do. I
Just
feel
go
so
home.
relaxed.
So,
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful fire. The music is good.
Well, I'm kind of, I've got this fine clothing and everything, and I don't mind helping. I just, let me come down there. I'll come check it out. So what do I need to roll?
You're going to check out the fire?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a d20
Saloon's blessings be upon you, my friend.
and a d4.
Well, you roll higher on the D4 than the D20.
9 total.
How many 9s have you guys rolled?
Yeah, we are amazing.
Wow.
Okay, Wolf's gonna start walking down the stairs. You guys check the fire out. That's okay. I'll go down the stairs.
Okay, then I need you guys to roll initiative.
I'm gonna perch on. I'm gonna fly around.
Oh,
and
no.
perch on his shoulder.
The fire's going to attack us now. We must defend ourselves.
It's got the taste of blood in its mouth.
It hungers for bird flesh. So does the barbarian.
Yeah, so does Wolf. Yeah. If the fire wins and kills you, I cannot promise I won't eat you.
Tasty.
Kron finds this fair.
All right, did anybody roll over a 20?
No,
Who do you
Did
think?
anybody roll a 9?
Who do you think you're playing with? Yeah.
I got a 17.
11?
Oh.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
What's your dex modifier?
3.
Okay, you're going first.
Yay! Look at me, finally doing something right.
Who got over a 15?
We need more birdmen.
Who got over a 10?
I got 11.
I have a 12. Wolf goes before Metal Man
It's Metal Man of Cormier. Thank you very much.
of Cormier.
Do I even need to ask what Luke got?
No. I got a 4.
He's got a loot.
I got a rock.
I'm
Not the
preoccupied.
good kind of loot.
I'm
like an L-U-T-E loot. Not the L-O-O-T loot.
At this point, where is our birdman friend?
I was going down the ravine with the barbarian with Lufnir.
Okay, so you're circling in the air, waiting for the barbarian to catch up as he's going down the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about mid-level, just kind of seeing what I can see with my special eyes. Seeing what my bird eyes see.
I'm going to kill you
He's
so
going to
fast.
use it all the time, though.
No, he won't.
For as long as my hit points will allow.
Not
9
long.
times.
Exactly.
So as Wolf approaches the edge of the ravine, there's a rustling in the dirt and the rubble, and a giant rat. You know it's a giant rat because you've seen rats before, and this one's bigger.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Is it a rodent of unusual size?
It is. It is a rodent of unusual size. And ROUS darts out of the rubble and attacks your ankles.
I kick it.
You get to go first. So you actually Kron goes first.
Kron
Yeah.
sees this and dives in as exactly hoo-hoo. That's his battle cry.
I could eat that.
Exactly. Hoo-hoo.
Don't touch it, it's mine.
So I'll dive in and attack it with my martial arts bird claw attacks of destruction and doom.
Dang.
It's the official term. It's actually in the book. Not today. On one of the that'll be a 6 and a 15.
A 6 and a 15. And your roll, so it's 2 attacks?
Yeah, 2 attacks.
How do you get multi-attack at first level?
It's the martial arts. The on attack of the bonus
gotcha.
attack.
Okay,
Bonus action.
one of those hits, so
Okay.
go ahead and roll some damage.
As a DM, I hate modes. You get stuff going at you left and right. It's like, I don't know what's happening.
You're keeping track of those key points, right?
I don't have key points at first level.
No key for you.
That will be 9 damage.
Wow. You take out one of the rats.
I dive out with my claws extended and just grab it by the neck and like fly off. And I've left the party.
Pecking it on a branch somewhere.
At that point, I assume you swoop in, pick one up, and fly off with it.
Oh yeah, to just shred it as I go off into the sky. You know, kind of just attack it both talons down to the back of the head.
So this kind of makes me wish that we were at like sundown, and you could see with the sun in the background, little bits of rat just sort of falling to the ground. That would be really picturesque.
It's kind of like that because I mean I do get a bonus to unarmed attack being a bird. I get an extra D4 on that. So just come down and just shred him and fly away.
That's pretty cool. But there's 2 more, and they're going to go after our friend Wolf.
Oh, no.
There's 33% less rat though.
There's 33.3% less rat. One of the rats succeeds in biting your ankle.
Ouch.
Oh, that's going to get nasty.
It's going to get all infected and stuff.
Infected.
Please take 3 points of piercing damage.
Wolfgar tries to muffle the ouch. He doesn't want other people to know he hurts.
Do you need to
Only
make
on
a
the
stealth check
inside.
for that?
No.
You're just going to keep it inside? Okay.
It's just my grunting.
And now it's your turn. You get to retaliate. There are 2 rats within kicking distance.
Very good. Then I will attack the first rat with one of my battle axes. This is
Greta?
my right hand battle axe. No, quick
Right.
strike.
Quick strike, okay.
Quick strike. That's a massive 9.
What is with you people and the 9s?
What do you mean, you people?
That's my theme.
Do you have
So-
a bonus on that 9? Or is that with their bonus?
That's everything.
Wow.
So 9 misses, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I get my offhand attack with my other battle axe. And this battle axe is don't look. That's a natural 20.
Hey, more rat parts.
Should I bother rolling for damage?
If you want to see the number.
I do. So I don't add my bonus because it's offhand attack, so I only do 10 damage.
You merely do 10 damage. Would you like to describe the way in which this particular rat meets its doom?
Yeah, I'd like to cut off its head.
Okay.
Cut its head off and,
Just in case it's a vampire rat.
yes,
Stuff it with garlic and throw it on the other side of a moving body of water.
They both have large teeth.
as the blood splatters back up on Wolf, he's going to, ugh, that's disgusting. And then as a bonus action, I will rage because they pissed me off.
He's been raging on the rats.
He bit me. It hurt. It's not funny.
Very nice. Volkmar,
Oh, sounds
So-
like a sacred flame moment.
you have seen your Birdman friend swoop in, pick up a rat, and dismember it as he's flying over the ravine. Then you've seen one of the rats bite your friend Wolf. Wolf responded aggressively with a battle axe. And
Got
there's
really
one-
angry.
There's one left. It's right in front of you.
Okay. I like to use Sacred Flame of Saloon, so it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
I predict a 9.
It was the other number that you guys seem to favor, the 4.
Oh,
Nice.
He fails. This
D8
rat-
radiant damage.
Uh-oh.
Oh! For one.
that was amazing.
The rat feels a little warmer.
Now you know what singed rat smells like. It's unpleasant.
The rat has a sunburn.
I just wanted the bard to see some action.
Loot.
You're just
There's
warning
a
the
slightly toasted rat savaging your
There's
friend's
more where that
ankles.
came from, Mr. Rat.
Lute, he's actually sitting on a log around the campfire, and he's playing his lute, and he just nonchalantly reaches in his pouch with his right hand as he keeps playing with his left, pulls a dart out and throws it at the rodent, sort of nonchalantly.
I really hope you crit. That would be a beautiful thing.
He uses darts as picks on
Saloon, bless him.
It's going to be a non-hit. 6.
It was an elegant gesture,
Very wildly
but apparently an ineffective one.
He crosses his legs and and keeps playing.
This is clearly the leader rat we're up against.
They
Took out the chaff. And
What
now
is
it's
it,
like,
Skinner? Or, Skinner from the Ninja Turtles.
Splinter?
Splinter.
Splinter.
Skinner. I'm just making up
The
words.
principal from...
What kind of nerd are
From
you?
The Simpsons?
I don't know.
Okay.
Clearly the Birdman was not prepared for mead.
Back up to the top. Kron.
The mead has affected the Birdman.
Well, the rats live for a whole nother initiative turn. Let's just go back to
That's
Oakhurst.
pretty sad. This bodes poorly for us.
That'll be a 10 and a 17.
The 17 hits.
Okay. On the singed rat for a grand total of 9 damage.
Would you like to pick this rat up as well?
I'm going to pick this rat up.
Remember, he's slightly charged.
He's slightly charred, so he might taste a little better. So I'm gonna pick this one up, and I'm gonna proceed to eat this one. I'm gonna
his
get
hair
him,
may
and
be
I'm,
off.
I'm actually just gonna. I'm not gonna pick him up, but I'm gonna impale him, and I'm just gonna pull off some shreds of rat and just kind of eat it, just gobble it down right there in front of the party.
Yeah, you did it, Kron. You are a worthy fighter.
The
Good
face,
job.
the face you made, I feel like you need to take a Constitution save as the DM, because you look slightly like you were gonna puke.
I'm just not sure how to narrate what comes next.
So, what do you guys eat?
You see your friend, the Birdman, sort of tossing back bits of rat and sort of choking them down
Well,
his
it was
gullet.
cooked this time, at least.
That
Yeah,
looks
I know
delicious.
Yeah. Do you have to swallow some rocks too to help break it up in your gizzard?
Sure, why not?
Wow.
I'm gonna say yes, or just use the rat teeth. Make it that much more terrifying.
Fantastic. There do not appear to be any more rats. Yeah.
That was
scary.
close.
Yeah. Wow. There do not appear to be any more rats. You are now at the lip of the ravine. You see, peering down over the edge, you see some switchback stairs. They go down about 80 feet, and approximately every 20 to 30 feet there's a
kinda high.
landing. The stairs are fairly narrow, about 5 feet wide. They appear to be in decent repair, not perfect. They are clearly newer than the pillars that you see at the edge of the ravine. And looking down, you can see, now, it's approximately noon, so the sun is high overhead, and it's shining more or less straight down on you. So you can see well into the ravine. At the bottom, 80 feet down, you see some scrubby grass. And it appears to be growing in what might be some sort of ruin. There's lots of rocks and rubble. And go ahead and give me investigation checks.
Could you pick something I'm good at, please?
Would
We
you
get
please
some
be good at
blessings
something?
here, Claire.
At some point. Well, that's a good point. I'm level 1, man.
Hey, I'm good at that one. That'll be a 17.
13.
Nice.
Apparently the rats were filled with knowledge and eating them has made me suck less.
It gave you nutrients.
Got any left?
Vital nutrients.
The bard got a 9.
Great, we've got a room full of all the people who have seen Atlantis.
Oh man, all of them.
Everyone that's seen Atlantis is in this room, all 5 of us.
What it looks like, now that you take a look at the rubble and you kind of get your bearings, it looks like there's actually sort of a wall surrounding the rubble. Sort of a crenellated wall.
Got to protect your rubble.
I know, right? You don't want your rubble to get away. So it appears that the rubble is sort of flat, and it's got this kind of wall around it.
Yep.
It's like
Definitely
no way
rubble.
through the wall. It's just like a wall we have to hop over.
You're going down, so imagine you're at the lip of the ravine, and then there are the switchback stairs, and the stairs land in what appears to be a flat area strewn with rubble.
So Wolf angrily goes down the stairs because he's still raged up to a minute.
Yeah.
So however long that lasts, he will angrily go down there, and if he can make it down there before a minute's over, I would like to just like pick a rock up and throw it.
Yeah, you can totally make it down there in a minute.
Yeah.
Are you going to like sigh dramatically and roll your eyes like a teenager?
After I get down or after I throw the rock?
Whenever. I'm just curious.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody want to follow Wolf down the stairs?
Yeah, I want to always
I'll
be on
follow.
his 6th.
Okay. It's not difficult to navigate your way down the stairs. They appear to be in fairly good repair. You do notice that as you start walking down, that there is a rope tied to one of the pillars, and the rope is dangling over the side of the ravine. It's a little bit off to the side, not quite where the stairs are.
Like I can be Tarzan.
Like you could be Tarzan if you wished.
I am so gonna ride the rope. Yeah.
I'll just fly.
I'm gonna grab the rope and swing.
Let's see how
Okay.
this warp thing works.
Give
out.
me an athletics check.
Am I still raged?
You're still raged.
I get advantage. It's a natural 20
Nice.
plus 2. I don't know.
Let out your best Tarzan
No.
yell.
Oh, athletics plus 5. Yeah, so 25. Yeah.
You bellow
I
with
just saw
primal
Miley
fury.
Cyrus in my head.
Leap from the stairs. Grab hold of that rope. Now tell me what happens next.
Yeah, I grab the rope and I swing. I am Wolf,
You're
yeah.
ruining his moment, dude.
So, I mean, where does it swing to? I grab it and swing, and what happens? I mean,
With a
where am I
25,
going? Where am I
it
going?
swings to Narnia for all you care. It goes wherever you want it to go.
That's good. Then I swing to the
through
apple.
time and space.
I pass the whole dungeon. I swing to the apple. I grab it.
Module
We're done
over.
here.
You find the kids.
I don't know. We got to get back up there and fight some more rats on the way home.
You find a +5 Holy Avenger on the other side.
You leap, you grab the rope, you swing out, and swing right back. You are now swinging parallel
Good job.
That is
to
so
the edge of the
fun.
ravine.
Oh my gosh, you have to try this. This is awesome.
You could climb down if you wished.
I will climb down.
You
yes.
can use your momentum with the swing to land any place you'd like.
Yeah, I want to swing and jump off and stick the landing with a battle axe in each hand.
Okay, 1 second.
The rats are very impressed.
And then
No, they're very dead.
no, you hear like tiny hands clapping just all along their vein. Hey, that was a good rat noise.
Okay, the rest of you walking down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
following.
Flying around the ravine.
Flying.
Hovering.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the base of the ravine is maybe 30 feet wide at this point. The stairs open up into what looks like a crenellated wall. So it's got risers and then it's like hills and valleys. But that stone is crumbled. You are in a roughly rectangular shaped area. It's about 10, 20, 30, about 30 feet by maybe 20, 25 feet. However, on the far side, in the wall of the ravine, is a curved wall. This is a man-made built wall that's sort of pulling out of the wall of the ravine. It has a door. The door is shut. It's made out of stone. The debris appears to be masonry. It's not natural rock. It's primarily masonry that's filling this area. Wolf, you are executing a dramatic dismount. You have an area of approximately 25 by 30 that you could land in. Do you want to land close to the wall of the ravine, close to the exit of the stairs? Do you want to land close to the wall, the curved wall where the door is?
yeah, close to the curved wall with the door.
Okay. Those of you who are walking down, you end up at the opposite side, right where the stairs descend. And I feel bad calling you Birdman. I feel sort of racist, and I'm sorry about that.
The proper term is 2017 is bird person, but we can go with Birdman. You can be a bigot over there anyway.
I thought it was feathered community.
It's avian American.
Oh, Indian
but-
American, sorry.
But
Feathered community.
I
person.
like the feathered community. That's kind of cool.
Okay. Humanoid friend with feathers, where would you like to land in the area that is strewn with rubble?
I guess I'll fly over there with the barbarian. I'm kind of interested in him. He does neat things.
He does crazy, unpredictable things.
I was like, I'm slightly fascinated. Interesting things may occur when I'm near him, so I'm gonna go over there with him.
So you're going to land more or less right in front of the door?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Was the bard coming down, or is he still up there playing his music?
He's sauntering down the staircase, kind of keeping his distance. But he's
Like playing as he's going down, like some sort of show.
right,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
All eyes on him.
Wolf, when you land, executing your perfect dismount after that natural 20 on your athletics check.
Can I get a score from my fellow party members? 9.5.
4.9 from the Russians.
Oh, man.
Exactly. The German judge gives you a 3.
You feel, as you strike your landing, you nail it. It's perfect. It's beautiful. But you feel the rubble shift under your feet. Please give me a DC 10 athletics check.
You got this, bro.
If I fail this, I'm hanging up my axes. This is 16.
Very good. You are able to keep
That's
your
more
footing
than
in the
10.
shifting rubble. Our avian companion,
Yes.
would you please give me also a DC 10 acrobatics check?
That I can certainly provide. As soon as I look at the score. Oh yeah, acrobatics. Yeah, I got this. That will be a 12. I barely got this.
You too feel the rubble shifting under your claw-like feet.
Talons. Yeah,
Talons.
talons. We can go with talons.
Okay, we can go with talons. You feel the rubble shifting under your talons. However, a few flaps of your wings allow you to stabilize and you maintain your footing.
Your cochlea tightens up a little bit. I say that right?
Here we go again.
A cochlea can tighten up. You know what? Sure, why not? It's a very tight cochlea. Yeah.
I think you got the wrong hole.
It's my cochlea is pristine.
For those of you following along at home, I'm sorry.
You should probably stop following along at this point.
I don't know what the bird pooper shooter is called, but I think that's the one that's tightened, the sphincter.
Well, as long as he's got sphincters, I'm sure they all
I
tighten.
think the word was cloaca.
Which is a
That's the
different
other
part
hole.
of the bird entirely.
We're off topic.
Yes.
During
Stay
the break,
focused,
we got a bit
stay-
curious about bird anatomy and how they reproduce.
A little bit of science for your day. Google
Yeah.
cloaca.
Google it for yourselves at home.
Now, the rest of our companions make their way down the stairs. You are about 20 feet away from the door where your companions are standing.
Do I have to swing or climb or anything? Because I don't like heights.
No. Although the climb down was a little awkward and uncomfortable for you if you didn't like heights, you stayed very
Very much.
close. You stayed very close to the side
I was
of the
holding his
ravine.
furs on the way down, and then he went all crazy.
And then he jumped.
Now I'm
and-
like clinging to the ledge.
Better man, hurry up.
Your armor's starting to ride up a little bit on the walk down.
You're so slow.
Starting to chafe.
When you get to the courtyard, you step out first. I assume that Loot is following behind you because he's sauntering. I'd like you to go ahead and when you first step out onto this courtyard area, the rubble shifts under your feet as well. Go ahead and give me a DC 10 acrobatics check.
Are you sure it's not religion?
Depends on the roll.
Night freaking team.
Very nice. You are able to maintain your footing. Would you like to proceed closer to where your friends are standing by the door?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
Are you really, really sure?
I'm very sure.
Give me another DC 10
Oh no.
acrobatics check.
Here comes a 9.
15.
Oh.
Very good. The rubble shifts again under your feet, but you're starting to get the hang of it now.
You call me Rebel Master from here on.
Ah,
You make it over to the door.
Folkbar,
Loot.
Rebel Master Cormier.
When you first step out onto the rubble, you see that your friends have been having some trouble. The ground here is, perhaps it's not the ground that's unstable, but certainly the debris that's on top of it is providing them with a bit of a challenge. Go ahead and make a DC 10 acrobatics check. See if you too can maintain your footing.
Be prepared to laugh and point.
I've rolled nothing but 2s all night tonight.
Do we need to shame your dice?
Yeah, probably. I even switched dice, so.
Don't land on your loot.
Wah, wah.
Wow, wow.
You failed your roll.
Cause I'm free.
He's trying to play.
Free falling.
He's trying to play and walk at the same time.
I think he knows that one.
As you are walking across the rubble, your foot slips in between two of the pieces of rock and becomes stuck. You need to give me a DC 10 athletics check to see if you can free yourself.
Somebody help the poor man.
Or break your ankle.
Ow, damn it, I stepped in a hole.
Are you still in the hole?
14.
Oh, you make it. You're able to pull your foot out. You might have a couple of scratches, and it might have scuffed your boot.
These are brand new boots.
You probably should have changed and put your fancy boots in your backpack.
Ooh.
My fancy boots are in my backpack.
Oh. His heels.
I do have a dress, actually.
You need to make one more check to make it across to the door where your friends are. This is a DC 10 acrobatics.
Wow. 23.
Holy crap.
He does a backflip after he mentioned his dress and heels. He puts the heels on and goes over there.
With an astounding display of flair, you trip lightly across the rubble, having, I guess, puzzled through its mysteries, and you land on your feet with a little flourish.
Not flamboyantly, though, just, kind of very, very...
Very manly, very manly flourish.
Yeah, Lot has good flair. I like all the flair that he has.
You guys are now standing in front of the door.
I open it.
Do you open it or you kick it open?
No.
Are you still raging?
I don't know. I don't know how long it's been. If I'm still raging, I violently swing it open.
This door is wedged shut. As you start trying to push it, you realize that it's not locked, but the rubble has sort of jammed the...
Don't make me rage and open it.
You could just use strength.
I can help you.
Max
I can use strength. What do you want? A strength check? Just a strength check?
Yeah, just a regular strength check. You're just muscling the door open.
8.
You hit it with your purse.
The door won't open. It's locked.
Can I
One
help?
shoulder's
I'm okay at strength. I got a little bit of strength on me.
Go ahead. Give it a try.
What do you think of doing, Metal Man? You think you're stronger than me?
No. For a moment I did, but it passed.
The moment's passed. Does anybody else want to try the
I
door?
flex a bicep for him. I
is the
say,
adventure
look, if I
over
can
here?
do it, you can do it either.
Is this it? Do we go home now?
I want to see. Yeah, this is the end. Congrats. We all
Go back to town.
Lute puts his mandolin in his left hand, and he charges forward.
Can I try to martial arts the door and use dex instead? It'll be really agile against the door.
With a 12.
Lute realizes that this is a pull, not a push.
It's clearly written in Dwarven on the door.
So did the door open, or can
The door opens.
Okay, thank God. I was like, the bird will try to open the door.
You're so smart. I'm glad we brought you.
This circular area is cobbled with cracked granite, upon which sprawl the bodies of 4 goblins, apparently slain in combat. One corpse stands with its back against the western wall, the spear that killed it still skewering it and holding it upright. 3 wooden doors lead from this area. A hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet into the air, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone, except for a couple of crumbling ledges. You are now in a circular room. The rubble that was the floors that were the upper levels has all crumbled and fallen to the ground.
Guys, you know what would be super handy to have at this moment? A character that can fly.
Oh my gosh.
The tower that you're in is approximately 40 feet in diameter and about 30 feet tall until you get to the top.
We can bypass all the floors, go straight to the top.
I can fly straight to the top. I can fly 50
And
feet.
lower a rope down, we just climb up it. Right, Metal Man?
Well, is
It's
it just go to the sky?
I mean, you can fly up there, but there's nothing.
There's
It's closed.
nothing to
It's
see.
closed. Yeah.
Oh.
I would like to check the dead goblin bodies for loot
Ooh, that's exciting.
And snacks.
and snacks.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Nothing here, let's go.
Can I make a medicine check
Sure.
to see like how they died? Are there also slash? I'm thinking how a ranger fights or a paladin fights, or these kids may have fought.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was this that party?
Medicine it up.
11.
Oh, well.
Good enough.
Okay.
Investigation reveals that the 4 goblins have been dead for quite a while. Their bodies have already been looted, so you don't find anything interesting no matter how much you pat them down. It does look like they have been gnawed on. Some of the rodents of unusual size appear to have made a meal of these corpses. You can tell from their position, from the wounds, from the broken arrows, and from the spear that's impaling one of them into the wall, that they died violently.
They were too weak.
Any sword cuts?
It's hard to tell because they really don't have flesh at this point.
Oh,
you can
that
see
makes
some scratching on the bones, but without a really good medicine check, I won't be able to tell you exactly how they died.
I'm just
And
a
I,
PA.
and I really hope you don't make that medicine check. 'Cause
Well,
I have to
now
look
I'm
at it.
terribly curious. I'm going to try the medicine check.
So I can get you guys to do anything by saying, don't do this.
That'll be a 16.
Yep.
16. They appear to have died in fighting. The rats gnawed on them after they were dead.
Okay.
So what are the ways out of this room?
3 doors.
Yep, you've got 3 doors. They are positioned. There's the one that you came from, so you can get back out the way that you came, remembering that from this side it's a push, guys.
I think we leave it open so we don't get confused.
We need to go
Yeah.
3 doors down.
Do you want to
Hey,
wedge
Bart?
it open with a piece of rock or rubble?
Just with the body or something.
With a body or something. Sure, what the heck. There are also, so imagine it's a circular room, and if you were looking at 12 o'clock being, say, north, you came in at 3 o'clock, and the other two wooden doors are at, say, 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock.
Wolf does not tell time. So
He has a digital watch.
yes,
You don't tell time. You tell time. You tell the clock what time it is.
that's right. So whatever time I want is breakfast time all the time. Okay.
Do you know left and right?
Yes, I know left and right. It's quick and don't look.
This axe and that axe.
Don't want to mess with don't look.
Do we want to just kind of poke our heads down all the doors and see what's out there?
I don't know. Let's just open one. How about left?
Okay.
That is good.
The
Yes.
sinister way.
The sinister way.
The opposite of right.
This door is open, and you can just push or pull
Saunter right
it.
in.
You can saunter right in if you like.
Wolf, saunter right in there, pal.
I do not Santa.
Well, do whatever it
It
is
doesn't
you
have to be a
do.
saunter.
I-
Just whatever
I
you're
walk in
Yeah.
like the Imperial Stormtrooper.
The masonry walls of this 20-foot wide hall are in poor repair. The far end has collapsed, filling the southern section with rubble. The western wall is in much better shape than the other walls, and it holds a stone door with a rearing dragon carved in relief on it. The door has a single keyhole situated in the rearing dragon's open mouth.
Who brought the keys? Oh, that's the one thing they had for sale at the Shrine of Palor.
No one told me.
Freaking gnome didn't.
You didn't ask. You were all worried about healing
Got the keys
potions.
to the evil castle down the road.
Caw.
Wolf writes it in his journal. Next time, ask for key.
I guess we go back and open another door.
Speak
Oh, she
friend
didn't
and
say it was
enter.
locked. Yeah.
Someone go look at the door.
You guys just going to give up right now?
No, let's
You're
try
like
to
the
make sure
worst
it's
adventurers
too
ever.
hard.
It's too hard for us.
Well, you said there was a keyhole. You didn't say whether or not there was
Yeah,
a
you
key
didn't say
in
it
the
was
keyhole.
locked.
Is the key in the keyhole?
We could barely open a door that wasn't locked, and now you give us a locked door.
These games get harder as you play.
Beyond our abilities.
All right, so somebody going over to the door.
Yes, I'll go over to the door.
I suspect that there is a key in one of these other rooms. Perhaps we should explore a little.
I say we try to open this door first.
Okay, as you approach the door, you hear a rustling in the rubble, and we need to roll initiative again.
Gosh damn it.
Haven't these rats learned?
What was that? Gosh damn it.
I did. I was trying to be polite for once.
Oh no, I'm surprised.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Who got over like a 30?
I got a nat 20.
Hey!
I got a 22.
You're special.
TWO, not TO.
Give me one of those loots. Way better than
Wolf
this Warhammer
and
thing.
Volkmar? Oh my god.
I got the 2.
We were distracted.
Did you
Yeah.
both get twos?
Yes. We were
Heck,
looking at the
pathetic.
door.
I have no dex bonus, so it's probably you.
No, I have no dex bonus.
Kron, you hear the rustling and see the head of another rodent of unusual size poke out of the rubble near the door.
Oh, he's got this.
Yeah.
He's still hungry.
You know what to do.
We might as well, start a fire or something.
Let's go ahead and kill the rodent of unusual size. That one won't do it. However, a 19 will do it. 19 will strike this rodent down.
This is a super rodent. It's
Yeah.
made out of titanium.
Nice. So a 19, yeah.
Yeah, 19 hits.
Hey, 10 points of damage.
Would you like to narrate the way this rodent meets its doom?
No. Yeah.
It's gone.
I was like, I don't know. This one, it just jumped out, so I'll take my my talons and just grab it and just pull it in half just overhead.
Snap its tail off.
And just
Make a little noose and strangle it with its own tail.
I think at this point he's earned the badge rat killer.
somebody's a little
Yes.
dark over there. That or I'll just grab it by the tail and just spin it around, just like beating it against the wall for all I'm worth.
Okay, it's dead. You can stop now.
Stop, it's already dead.
The original fidget spinner.
Okay, you dispatch the rat, and now you are at the door. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Did the rat have a key on it?
Well, you don't know because you just flung it across the room.
Oh, no, I still got a hold of it by the tail. I was just beating it against the wall.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to open the rat. You heard me.
I was just kidding.
Don't look at me like that.
I suppose it could have swallowed
I'm
one.
going to open the rat and investigate the door. I can do both. I don't have binocular
Is this
vision.
your dual wielder stuff?
I guess.
You're gonna dissect a rat with one set of talons.
That'll be a 4 to investigate the door. Yep, it's a door.
You're distracted by rat guts. You make no progress with the door. Does anybody want to help him?
I'm eating the
Help
rat.
him do what exactly? I'm not...
I'm not sure either.
I was like, I opened the rat. Was anything inside the rat of use?
Rat guts.
I put the rat guts in the keyhole.
Everybody look around
no.
for a key. How about that?
Yeah, we can look to the rubble.
You're going to look through the rubble? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going
go
to eat
ahead.
the rat.
Go ahead and make some investigation checks.
Wow, that is a 19 for me.
Wow, that's nice. You find no keys in the rubble.
But more rubble?
Rat innards.
Just rubble. And some previous, like, dried up, kind of desiccated rat innards. Somebody's been this way before.
Hey guys, look. It's more rubble.
I thought we were running out, so whew.
We were getting low on rubble.
Low on rat guts.
He needs it to help eat.
Rubble and rat guts. We've got this on lockdown.
Well, if this is a dead end, there's another way we can go.
I mean, one of you investigated the door. You guys give up so easy.
I tried to open the door.
Okay, try
He
it.
had a
open the door.
19.
Yeah.
You're 19 on.
No, he had a 19.
No,
Oh,
that was
okay.
for looking to the rubble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I opened the door.
The door is locked.
Dang it.
Who didn't see that coming? Yeah.
Okay, so the keyhole, is the keyhole big enough to look through?
The keyhole is not. So imagine a normal size door. So perhaps 3 or 4 feet wide, about 6 feet tall. In this entire face of the stone door is carved to look like a dragon. The dragon's head is approximately 2/3 of the way up. It's as if it's emerging from the door. Its mouth is open, and where its tongue begins to stick out at the back of its throat, that's where the keyhole is.
I want one.
Isn't it awesome?
I'm gonna use my finger like a key and poke it in there and turn it, open it.
Your finger does not disarm the lock.
Dang it.
Can I try to pick the lock?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
All right.
I mean, you're going to fail, but you can try.
Well,
Oh, he gave me
now-
pouty face. Aww.
don't pout.
Yes, you do.
Oh, it's pretty good. A 17, but
It is a good attempt. However, it does not disarm the lock.
so let's go back and look in the other rooms.
Yeah, we'll have to head around.
Okay. All right. So you guys have gone through this room. You go back to the round tower, and there's one door that you have not yet opened.
I'll open the door. I'm the door opener.
You, the barbarian.
I am good at this. Hold on.
It's like a battering ram you can talk to.
This door opens into a long, narrow corridor. It is about 10 feet wide and 10, 20, 30, about 40 feet long. It ends, there are 3 doors in this corridor. One is at the far end, and then 2 are on either side.
It's too many.
Split the party.
Go left.
So all 3 doors are at the end, one directly and then one on each side, right?
Yes, you walk about 20 feet. I'm sorry, you walk about 30 feet, and then there's a door to your right and one to the left. You walk another 10 feet, and there's one immediately in front of you.
Okay.
Are there any signs that anyone else passed this way?
Ooh,
Tracks?
That's exciting.
Or...
That's very exciting.
You are so smart.
Oh, thanks.
I'm so glad we brought you.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, yeah, see, this is the part of it I can't do.
Wait, what were the parts that you could do?
Religion.
DM burn.
He can burn a rat.
7.
Hang on, I'm going to perceive with my special eyes.
Let's see how bird eyes are.
I want you to narrate this critical fail for me, Janine.
Hold on a second.
Your eye lolls out of
I
your head.
gotta warm up here.
I'll say it's a nat 1 to perceive what's going on in this room.
Debris falls in your eye.
As you begin scanning through this long, narrow corridor, attempting to discern some sort of clue about perhaps those who have passed here before you, you suddenly forget where you are. You launch yourself into the air, thinking that there is clear sky above. You bonk your head on the ceiling, which is really only about 10 feet above. It brings you to your senses, and you immediately plummet back to the ground, stunned
Oops.
And very
and
embarrassed.
slightly embarrassed.
Very embarrassed.
Too many
Okay,
rats.
so are these normal wooden doors, normal handles?
Yeah, they appear to be normal.
Okay, I would like to open up the one in front of me, just crack it and look in.
So is this
And
the
then-
one at the far end?
Yeah, the far end.
Okay.
Open it, look in, and then shut the door.
You're just going to peep?
Yeah, I'm going to peep, yeah.
That is so manly.
Like a cat can't decide whether to go in or out.
It's such a odd choice.
This door is not locked. you are able to push it open.
Yeah.
What you see inside is some kind of strange, oddly decorated room. You get a very quick glance at it. There appear to be green symbols painted on the walls. There is some kind of cage that's toward your left. There's a table immediately in front of the door, and that's about all you see. There's something else to your right, but you don't get a quick enough glance.
Okay, that sounds promising. I now want to do the door on the right. Open it up, peek in, and shut it.
One more thing. As you begin to close the door, you hear a sort of muffled kind of sobbing coming from inside this room.
Okay. I still close it, and I check the door on the right.
Okay, door on the right.
Did anybody else hear the sobbing?
Did you inform us of the sobbing?
Not yet.
I mean, you guys are all standing there, right?
Yeah, they're right behind me.
Sure.
They're all behind me.
I'm still seeing stars
You're
and I
still
guess
shaking it
humans.
off.
Stars and humans going around my head. So stars and birds.
Very nice.
Oh, that'd be a nice touch.
All right. So opening up the right door, this appears to be an empty chamber. It's 20 by 20, and there's rubble on the floor. But it's not big enough stuff that things could be hiding in it. It's just like, bits of broken masonry that have fallen off the walls.
Ceiling is there. It hasn't collapsed yet.
Yeah.
Okay, shut the door. And then same thing with one on the left.
You mean the one at the end of the hall?
No, the one on the left. The one at the end of the hall is where he went first. That's the one that
That's
has
right.
the sobbing.
That's right.
Sobbing, nothing, and then...
So the one on the left is a 10 by 10 room, and there appears to be some sort of keg or cauldron that's enclosed, and there's some pipes, and that's what's in that room.
Okay, I close that door too. And then I look at the party. Okay, I think this was the right one. And I open the door up in front of me at the
Okay.
end of the hall. I open that door up and go in.
Cool. Crudely executed symbols and glyphs, scribed in bright green dye, decorate this large and irregularly shaped crumbling chamber. A large pit in the center shows evidence of a recent fire. A metallic cage in the middle of the southern wall contains a gaping hole and stands empty. A small wooden bench draped with green cloth is next to the cage, and several small objects rest on it. A bedroll lies near the wooden bench, and the sound of whimpering comes from inside it.
Watch out, guys, another fire. Careful, don't go near it.
Kron wonders if it was the same one that killed the small animals with the spear.
The fire tribe is
He's
stronger
probably
than
related.
Is that a child sobbing?
It's probably dead.
Yes, I will go towards the
Beyond hill.
sobbing thing in the whatever it is while avoiding the fire pit.
Okay?
Yeah, walking around,
You
skirting it.
approach the bedroll.
Yeah, the bedroll. Hello, I say to the object.
For the bedroll.
Go away!
Bedroll. Who are you?
Meepo! Go away!
Oh, Meepo.
Meepo?
Meepo.
It's neither Tallgren nor Sherwin, so...
Come out, we have questions for you.
No!
He's not cooperating.
Yank the blanket off.
I tap him on the shoulder.
Go away!
We have a treat.
Or maybe a jaunty tune. will
What if I
raise
I
its-
played a beautiful little ditty for you? Would you come out and if I made you feel peaceful?
No. Go away.
Kron wonders what the human larva is doing here.
Human? Idiot.
Yeah, he is.
The blanket peels back, and you see a small creature. Hold on. I can narrate this for
We
you.
were sent here to find
Urge
human
to kill
larvae.
rising.
Urge to kill rising. Very nice.
Me or the creature?
The small creature before you looks physiologically confused. It has the general anatomy of a dog, including a snout, but it would stand upright if it was standing. And is covered in fine, reddish-brown scales that give it a distinctly reptilian look. Its tail is covered in finer, lighter-colored scales, and there are 2 small ivory horns on its head. If it was standing, it'd be about 4 feet tall and maybe weigh 40 to 50 pounds. It's wearing ragged, short trousers and a wide leather belt. It appears that there is a pouch on the belt and also and a sheath with a dagger. There is also a sling, which is tucked into the belt as well. There's a telltale gleam of intelligence in its weeping, tear-streaked, reflective red eyes. It looks at you miserably and shifts its weight back and forth, sort of rocking in the bedroll. It is apparently distressed and very upset.
Oh, you are ugly.
Are you?
So are you!
Tiny creature. Kron wonders, what are you?
I'm a kobold, you idiot!
Cold, what is it?
You are food.
Kobold!
Are you trapped here?
Yes, I'm trapped by my own sorrow.
Oh, goodness. This one appears sick. We must put it out of its misery.
Okay, Mr. Cuckold. We are looking for the apple. That's what you say you are. You cuckold. Help us find the apple.
Kobold!
That's what I said.
He's cold and bald.
Who put you here?
My leader put me here.
Why are you here? Kron wonders.
I'm the keeper of the dragon. This is the dragon room.
And why are you in the cage?
I'm not in the... What? I'm not in the cage.
The cage is empty.
It's his bird
I'm
PTSD
here.
kicking in. He thinks he's in a cage. Don't worry, it passed in a few
He's
minutes.
still seeing stars. He doesn't know what's going on.
I'm convinced that I've had a stroke halfway through
The
this
first 10
game.
years of his life in a pet stories.
I swear to God, I thought the sobbing was from inside the cage, and the kobold was inside the cage.
But tell me, why
So-
does the caged bird sing?
So, is your duty a result of negligence on your part to your duty?
Because we know all about that.
He said duty.
No. It was an honor. And then the goblins stole her. Oh, what am I going to do?
But how did a creature such as you possess a dragon?
That sounds like an insult.
Well, yeah.
The tiny lizard dog seems to have no information. Perhaps we should end its suffering.
You are mean.
Only honorable.
It does not look delicious. We leave it alone.
It would be a quick death, high in protein and nutrients.
So you said there was stuff on the table.
There's some stuff on the table.
I'm going to ignore the little guy and go check out the items on the table.
Meepo throws himself back into the blankets and says, "You'd better kill me. It's better than living like this."
Agreed.
Well, there's an issue of a key we'd like to have.
What?
There's a door with a dragon face on it that we'd like to go into.
Oh, dragons, you had to bring up dragons.
This miserable
blubbering.
creature has bring shame to me by being in close proximity.
Yeah, we were sent here. We're supposed to go in the door with the dragon. Do you have the key?
No.
Where's it at? Can you tell us where the key's at?
No. No.
I know.
The master sent us.
I know.
The
The
master
key.
told us to come and go in the door.
Yisrael?
Yes.
Well, then she would have given you the key. She's got all the keys.
She said it was a test to see if we were worthy of possessing the key.
Kron believes the cuckold may be the key. Perhaps we should shove him in the lock.
What?
It is merely a test. It might work, Kron believes.
Look, I'm really busy being depressed here, and you guys are ruining the mood.
We could help
This
you
guy
become
over,
free.
you're playing music, and it sounds like it might be cheerful. I really just want to be sad. If you're not going to help me be sad, then you should just go.
Give him a Scooby snack.
Tiny creature, why are you sad?
Because my dragon's gone. How can I be keeper of the dragons for my tribe if I don't have a dragon?
Come on,
This
you
is the
really
worst
had
day
a
ever.
dragon? And goblins took a dragon from you? Why wouldn't the dragon just kill all of you and be done with it?
Something
Free
tells
itself.
me this was not a real dragon.
So once you ask this question, you realize that the small creature in front of you is covered head to toe with fine scars.
Fine.
Can I
of
make a
course.
medicine check to see what kind of scars they are?
Yes, you can.
I have 2 skills, medicine and religion. 20.
Nice. They appear to be scars from dragon claws and teeth.
He's been ate up by a dragon.
So the little thing is not bullshit.
I guess it's how big, I mean, because like a dragon claw is as big as he is.
The cage that's that's on the southern wall is approximately 10 feet by 10 feet.
Oh, maybe they had like a baby or like a little tiny wormling or something.
Tiny creature, would you like me to end your suffering?
Meepo puts the back of his hand against his forehead and sighs dramatically and says, "You might as well."
No,
Oh.
he could be useful. Let's,
Yeah, okay. We find your dragon for you if you help us.
You'll find the dragon?
If you help us, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for the goblins anyway, so...
Really?
And have you seen any other people like us? Any human like, hero types come through here?
You mean big, tall, ugly guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. About 3-4 weeks ago.
What happened to them?
Oh, I don't know.
Which way did they go?
Toward the goblins.
Okay. Will you help us go to the goblins?
Are you going to get my dragon back?
We said yes.
And then I promise I will kill you.
You're weird.
Well, once he gets
Yes,
the dragon
he is.
back, I don't suppose he wants to die anymore.
The little guy's smarter than he looks.
Either way, perhaps you will find honor.
Would you like to hear about Our Lady and Savior Saloon?
No, but you should come see my leader, Yisrael.
Can you take us to your leader?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Is he another?
Meepo can totally do that.
Is he another of your kind?
She?
Is she a leader?
Oh
of
yeah,
your
she's a
kind?
kobold too.
She behind the dragon door.
No.
Don't you remember, guys? We talked to her outside the village. She told us to meet her here. She said there would be a kobold fellow here who would show us the way to her. Remember? Remember that?
What are you saying? Was I there?
Yeah,
Sure.
we
met
were
her-
there.
I don't remember
What?
that.
You met her in the village?
It was outside, and we were walking along the path, and she said that we were supposed to meet you here. You give us the key so we could get through the dragon door, and we could possibly find her here. But she said you would guide us and tell us how to meet her.
I'm starting to get confused because she would never leave. I mean, that's dumb. And I don't have a key. She knows that. She wouldn't trust me with a key. I mean, I can barely keep track of a dragon.
Well, if you just take us to her, that's really what we want.
Well, that's what I want too. Come on, guys, let's go.
Will your people let us pass?
Well, if I'm with you, they will.
I've heard about kobolds before, and they're not always as nice as you are.
Oh, wait.
Kron goes where he wishes.
I know the password.
Wait, you've met cockles before?
Yes, everyone's heard of kobolds. It's very common.
Somehow I believe you.
Meepo jumps out of his bedroll and immediately starts walking off. So the room that you're in is sort of a stubby L shape. It's got an opening to the west. He walks through the opening, leads you down a hallway. There are doors that open on either side of the hallway, and as he passes each one, he yells, "Tickle corn!" He makes his way down the hallway.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that?
Didn't quite catch that.
Tickle corn!
Tickle corn.
Yeah, and he kind of puts different inflection on it each time. Like sometimes it's tickle corn, and sometimes it's tickle corn, and sometimes it's tickle corn.
You are weird.
Are you
You're one to talk.
Are you calling a pet?
No, it's the password. I told you I know it. He leads you down a hallway. It's about 100 feet or so. Then the passageway turns to the right, another 40 feet, and you open up into a wide chamber. To the right, there are pillars that appear to hold up the ceiling, and then to the left is... Bum, bum, bum.
Tickle corn.
You wish.
I'm still not sure what I'm hearing.
It is a short throne standing near the west wall, constructed of fallen bits of masonry stacked against an old altar. On the top of the altar sits a variety of small items. A portion of the altar that serves as the throne's back features a carving of a rearing dragon, and a metallic key is held firmly in the dragon's open jaws.
Oh, check out that key.
Sitting on the throne is another creature like Meepo. This one appears to be a female, and there are two...
I know that because I passed my medicine check.
Are we going to investigate kobolds' anatomy at the next break?
Google that.
Don't.
Or do.
And there are two other kobolds that are standing on either side of her. When Meepo... and this chamber it's about 20 by 20, with the altar pushed to the back of the western wall and the throne sitting right in front of it. When Meepo sees the creature who is on the throne, he begins to bow energetically.
I think I should just fly up and snatch the key and fly away and kill everything in the chamber.
Lute, he approaches behind the kobold and does his big dramatic flare bow.
It's very impressive. Go ahead and make a performance check.
If you get a 1, I'm going to be...
You had one job.
I think I could fly and steal the key and we'd just be done.
Oh, thank God. 13.
13.
Ooh, okay.
Your performance attracts attention. All of the kobolds are watching you, including Meepo, who apparently heard some rustling of your ruffles and frills as you began your elaborate bow.
They hurl their underwear at you.
Ew.
If only they were wearing underwear.
That's kind of where you throw
Loincloth there.
throw it at the wall and it
You don't know what they throw, but wow, that's gross.
Some sort of fluid-covered rag comes your way.
Good time to take those dexterity saves
That's some
And then a
typical
con
for
check
you.
afterwards.
if you're struck.
The kobold that is seated looks at Meepo and says, "Who have you brought here?" Meepo turns and looks at you and says, "They're going to find the dragon."
Yeah, we're the apple dumping gang.
She says, "Apple what?"
We're looking for the apple and to help you find your dragon.
Wait, you're here to take the apple
From the goblins, yeah.
from the goblins?
And the dragon.
You're going to take the apple from the dragon?
We're going to kill all the goblins. We're going to take the apple and then find the
Whatever
dragon.
they got, it's ours now.
You're going to kill the goblins.
Yeah.
How very interesting.
And the tiny kobold. He wished to die.
Well,
Don't listen to him.
He may have gotten better.
He
His
asked
words
me
are funny, but he's delicious. Don't listen to him.
He asked me personally to
Never
kill him.
trust your lunch.
He says, "Well, if you're going to kill the goblins, then I think we should hasten you on your way."
And can you tell us about another group of humans that passed through here a couple weeks ago?
Perhaps. What do you wish to know?
Where are they?
They also went to fight the goblins. They haven't come back yet.
Oh, okay.
That key that you have, Kron wonders, does it open the door with the dragon on it?
Why do you ask?
Because I ask. It is what I do. It is what I did, and will continue to do until you give me an answer.
She shrugs and says, "Maybe."
Lute inconspicuously kind of looks around the room and counts the kobolds in the room.
There are 4.
Therefore,
I'm going to fly over and get the key.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're going to fly over to snatch the key?
Yes.
Well, that's not going to be taken very well by the kobolds. Let's go ahead and roll
I'm going to
initiative.
continue. I'm going to fly. I didn't say I was going to kill the kobold. I just said I'd just fly to take the key.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, yeah.
I secretly coveted the key myself.
19 total.
19 total.
19 total. Yeah.
Who's got the higher dex?
Got a 3. What do you got?
I have a 2.
Okay, so it's going to be Kron, then Lute. What do you guys
11.
get? 11. And
6 for me.
And 6. Okay, then it's going to be the kobolds, then Volkmar, and then Wolf. So you're going to fly over.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, just like, I mean, I'm assuming that this chamber I can get across it in 50 feet.
Yeah, it's about a 20-foot by 20-foot chamber.
Oh, yeah, I'm
so
gonna
you're kind of standing now.
I'm going to fly into a loop and, like, snatch and grab as I go by and, like, snatch the key and then fly back over to my friends.
Okay, as you're going to have to fly over there and then do an action to grab the key.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so your action to grab the key, give me a dex check.
Sure.
Because you're kind of doing this on the fly.
Do everything on the fly. That'll be a dex check of 17.
Fantastic. You are able to grab the key, and you turn, and the kobolds are facing you with angry faces.
And there. So, let me ask you again. Kron wonders, the key that Kron holds in Kron's hand, does it open the door to the dragon room?
Okay. They'll answer on their turn. Lute, your friend just snatched a key from the goblins who were otherwise pretty impressed with you guys.
Goblins?
I'm sorry, the kobolds.
You mean the cuckolds, right?
Yeah, the
Lute
kobolds.
comments under his breath, "Oh, shit."
Strike me an epic chord.
And I actually do bardic inspiration on the barbarian.
I feel so special.
You're going to need some drums for that.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Urge to kill rising.
I feel inspired, and that wasn't even on me.
so there's the bardic inspiration. Let's see.
So is that an action or a bonus action?
That's a bonus action.
Okay, so that's your
Nice.
bonus. You can still either
Play and slay.
you can either engage the kobolds in conversation, you can attack them, you could run away, you could choose to do nothing and just watch how this story unfolds.
We're not openly hostile yet.
Backs out of the room playing there.
Brave Sir Robin.
He drops his bardic inspiration and gets the hell out.
I'm actually just going to watch.
Okay. If
Yeah.
you wish to hold an action to do something later,
Yeah.
what are you waiting for?
The first instance of violence, I'm going to step in and
and stabinate somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be me, so. Freaking cuckold!
This isn't Adventures League, so I can't let you guys beat each other up.
Oh,
The kobolds act
a
next.
whole new game.
Now, you are about 10 feet away from the two kobolds that were flanking either side of Yisrael, and from her. She stands, turns to you, and says, "Put that back.
Put what back? This is my property now. I hold it. It is mine.
That is our key. Put it back."
I simply asked a question you refused to answer. I merely had to investigate the shiny object. So this key that Kron holds in Kron's hand, does it open the door to the dragon ring?
Put that back.
I put it in my beak.
Like slobbers all over it. Rubs it on his butt.
No.
Under his arm.
I do that weird, like, parrot tongue thing to where it, like, comes in and touches it.
At this point,
You still want it
That ought
back?
to piss him off.
at this point, Yisrael raises her hand.
Oh, shit.
You see the beginning of some sort of magical spell effect forming in her palm.
So what's behind the dragon door with
Okay.
this key that you seem to want quite badly?
There is now some tension in this room. The kobolds, you haven't fought them yet. Their leader is obviously a caster.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are soft and squishy first level characters.
She is discouraging this heavily.
This is the DM warning.
This is the DM saying, "I'm going to let you guys do this if you want, but it might not turn out the way that you like." Now it is Volkmar's turn. The two kobold guards, Yisrael, you guys don't speak. Who speaks Draconic? Anybody speak Draconic?
Not a soul.
Nope.
Okay.
I could make it up.
We have the party of no
You hear?
languages.
Yisrael says something in a language you don't understand. The two guards take a ready position. Volkmar.
We demand the key in payment for our taking on the goblins for you.
Yisrael says, "No. Bring back the dragon and maybe key."
What do you say, Kron?
Kron, that currently holds the key in his hand, does not deal in maybes. You either agree to provide us the key in exchange for our services, or I simply take the key and uphold my deal to kill the worthless kobold who could not do their job.
Volkmar, do you want to do anything else?
Already in action in case violence breaks out.
You're going to stabinate? Okay.
I am lawfully upholding my end of the bargain to kill the
to
kobolds.
whip out the old sacred flame if
Okay.
bad stuff happens
So if there's violence this round.
on the caster.
Okay. Wolfmere. Wolf here?
Wolf here.
Wolf, where?
Right there.
Werewolf.
Werewolf. Yeah.
How can you guys leave this
Beat me
to
to it.
Wolf? Really? You're leaving the decision to Wolf.
We
if we're gonna
vacillated
fight.
all the way down to the barbarian.
You've turned the barbarian into the diplomat of the
You
team.
know this is going to end
What
badly.
we have here is...
A failure to communicate.
I have to think very carefully what my next action will be.
TPK. TPK.
Thank you, audience. This was a gripping session at the Citadel.
So how many
book
kobolds?
sucks.
You said there's one leader and how many guards?
1 leader,
4
2 guards.
total.
Oh, 2 guards.
You do have a +6 for 10 minutes on whatever you decide to do.
So, I mean, God, 3 kobolds? We can't do this, guys?
Even the highest level kobold, I mean, turns out she's like a were-dragon or some shit. I still
Do you guys
we
think those are the only kobolds in this
No,
section?
but
of
I
the
think we
dungeon?
can
No.
kill 3 before any more arrive. All right, so Wolf, Wolf will try to calm her down.
do you tell her to calm down? Because
no.
that calms every woman
No,
down.
no,
They
yeah.
immediately respond well to that. And tell her she's just like her mother.
Calm down. Let me explain.
Just like her mother.
He's got the muscles. Of course, he's the leader of the group.
Okay, we we'll get the dragon and come back.
For
Yisrael.
the key.
Yisrael looks at you and says, "Put the key back."
As I lick the key just vigorously with my little weird parrot bird tongue thing.
This
I have
is.
never been so happy that this is not a video podcast.
I'm kind of sorry. This is counterproductive. Can you just give him the key back so that we can get on with it?
So long as they agree that if we find their dragon, they give us the key. Kron does believe that we could kill all of them.
If you bring me a dead dragon, I'm not going to give you the key.
We're not going to kill it.
No, Kron
Yeah,
believes that we could
Kron-
kill all the kobolds in this room.
That would make a great song, by the way.
What, kill all the kobolds?
we-
I agree.
Killing a dragon.
We'll have we need a huddle with Kron. A huddle will say, listen.
Kron is on the other side of the enemies from you.
I fly over the enemies with the key.
Wait a second. We're still on Wolf's turn.
Oh, so Wolf's turn. Oh, sorry.
Okay, Wolf, you put the key back. We come back later. And then we go get the dragon and we kill all the goblins. We kill them all and you'll be happy.
Take the apple.
Take the apple.
Yisrael is nodding.
And you agree that you give us the key that Kron holds in Kron's hand.
I will decide when you bring back the dragon whether you get the key.
You just got to lie to the bird, man. It's okay.
Sure.
There you go. Okay.
Then I'll keep the key for safekeeping and fly off with it.
Seriously?
No. Okay.
Where are you going to keep it? You're buck naked. You shove it up your
My
coat.
cloaca. My cloaca.
It's not a
We
pocket.
definitely won't want it back then.
Fine. I'll put the key back.
Okay, the slightly soggy key is put back in its original spot.
And then I whisper to her, don't touch the key.
She whispers back, no way. The kobolds then stand down. The two guards relax. And Yisrael motions to Meepo and says something to him in her language, which he understands, and he begins to nod. And she waves at you and says, come back with the dragon.
Yeah, where do we go?
Yeah, is it over there?
Meepo is heading to the other side.
Meepo's our guide.
Meepo is your guide.
Can
for
Meepo be trusted?
For this portion of your journey. Can Meepo be trusted? Only time will tell.
I squawk as we walk out the door.
Caw, caw, caw.
I actually do a big silly bow again, and I'm like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for the
I told you have to ignore the bird guy.
for the trouble.
Okay, people, let's go.
Israel just waves. Meepo is ecstatic that you are going to fetch his lost dragon. He is so happy. He chatters away, and at one point he sort of breaks back into his own language, and you guys don't understand what he's saying. He yells out ticklecorn in a variety of inflections and pronunciations several times.
Why?
Ticklecorn! Ticklecorn!
Why does he keep saying tiger porn? What is that? I do not want to see tiger porn.
Do you need some more ticklecorns? I mean, I want you to feel like you got your money's worth for this session.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we did.
Okay. Meepo continues to lead you out the long corridor that has the pillars. That then he turns to the right. You join back up and go back through the room where you first met him. He goes back out into the long, he goes out not the same hallway that you used to enter this room. There's another door toward the north. He takes you through that door, and then there's a long Z-shaped corridor. It goes to the east, then it turns to the south, then it turns to the east again. He takes you to a door, a wooden door. He points to it and says, there you go, kobolds. Goblins on the other side.
It's just a giant stash of tiger porn behind the door.
I was about to say, I say tiger porn at the door.
What are you guys talking about?
Speak tiger porn and
open.
enter.
I'm going
You
to
are so weird.
I'm going to roll perception for a deception on his part.
So insight.
Okay, very good. Yeah, roll an insight check.
I like that. Though. I'm going to roll a perception for his deception. Like that. It sounds great.
Yeah. Did you roll a 9? Was it a 9 or a 4? Those are the only numbers we
It
can
was
roll.
a 4
tonight.
plus a 5.
It's a 4.
You're kidding me, right? You're pretty sure that Meepo is being genuine, that he really is excited and happy that you're going to be getting his dragon. Other than that, you couldn't tell the stuff that he was saying in his own language. But he appears to be, right on.
Okay, people behind this door, you say the goblins?
Yeah, just keep going. This is the end of where the kobolds go. Goblins are on the other side.
Anything dangerous over there?
Well, sure. Goblins. Dumbass.
Oh.
Whatever, people. Okay.
Oh.
I open the door. Then.
You open the door into an empty chamber.
Nothing else in there? No doors?
This chamber is about 25 feet wide and about 20 feet deep. On the other side, so you're entering kind of on the longer side. Directly across is another door.
That's the door.
Once you open the door and walk through, Meepo just scampers back the way that he came.
He didn't slam the door shut, lock it behind us.
Hold on a second, my muscled friend, and I put a arm to keep him from moving forward. Can I roll a perception check, in the room to see?
That would be super cool. Go ahead. Make this one not a 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna perceive
A
with
9
him.
at this point would be a high score.
I got a 1.
I've got a 19.
Nice. This room appears to be kind of dusty, as if it's not, doesn't see a whole lot of traffic. It's kind of like, gritty, sandy dust, as if it's coming from the masonry. It's like mortar that's disintegrating. You see on the floor several sets of tracks. You see ones that belong clearly to the rodents of unusual size. These appear to be fairly fresh. You also see underneath them, though, what looks like 4 humanoid-sized tracks that are heading in the direction that you're going, straight across the room and over to the other door.
Okay, I think that's a good stopping point for now before the heroes continue on against the Goblin Menace. So I know that we've only played like half of one of the scenarios in the book, but I wanted to get your opinion on it. What do you think of, some of us haven't only been playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for like 2 years. It's kind of new still. Do you like these kind of recycled adventure modules? Is this something like you think you'd like to continue playing? Basically, is Tales of the Yawning Portal your kind of thing? These throwback adventures.
Well, I can't really speak with authority on one versus the other, but
have a look at the book if you want to.
I would say that the thing that I do like about the game is that it's not so hack and slash oriented, because we were dealing with kobolds, and we had a minute to kind of interact with them and sort of try to find a resolution without actually fighting them. So I thought that was kind of cool. But, I know that a lot of modern games do that too.
I think one thing that's different, at least in this edition, is the way to overcome obstacles. So like you say, you don't have to kill everything. And there's keywords, obviously, that help you get past the kobolds without having to fight them. It's obviously much easier if you don't have a bird guy with you. But
the bird guy can be slightly problematic.
But the one thing about 5th edition, too, is it's important to realize you don't have to kill everything, because some things can be above your challenge rating, even if you encounter them. And so sometimes it's good not to fight. So I like that aspect of the game, and certainly we've seen that in prior seasons. But I think I got the feeling just with the old dungeons that were recycled. I haven't ever played this one before, but I guess maybe my experience just helps me understand, okay, don't just go kill everything.
And see, that's great. I like that. I like what you're talking about, because, I was talking about, you asked me what my interest is in D&D earlier, and I said, well, I see it more as a simulation rather than a game. And so in that kind of idea, that concept, what we're doing is you are simulating kind of a real world. There is the potential to run into creatures that are beyond you. And you got to really play it smart to make sure that you're going to pass through all the hoops and whatnot to get to where you want to go. And I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool game to have to play.
Just a note about the adventure, pulling from the book, The Tales of the Yawning Portal. It says The Sunless Citadel was written by Bruce Cordell, originally published in 2000 as a beginning adventure for the 3rd edition of D&D. So I guess for the 3rd edition, it was kind of like the starter adventure for new players and maybe for new dungeon masters as well. So if it has the feel of a beginning adventure, that was kind of the intent of it. And that's probably why they put it in this book as the early one. Even though the adventures, as I understand, aren't linked in Tales of the Yawning Portal, you can play them that way because they put them in there so that you could start at level 1 and go up and take on the next one until I guess you get up to Tomb of Horrors or something.
See, I like this, though. As somebody who really didn't get into D&D until, 3.5, it's really good, for me, because I've not got to play any of these adventures before previously, so getting to see them kind of a new rehashed format, to me, these are all completely new adventures. But I feel like it's also got that draw of somebody who's played them before to play them in 5th edition and get to play with those changes to it. So it feels like it's got a little bit of something for everybody in it.
Mm-hmm. Another cool thing I came across doing a little research for the podcast is that Tomb of Horrors actually predates Dungeons and Dragons a little bit. It's the same age I am, 43. It came out in 1974. But
They had books invented back then?
yeah, you can
Wow.
believe it. More like a vellum. You had to write.
I didn't know they had a printing press yet.
Yeah, the special editions had like gold filigree, like woven into it. Anyway, so Gary Gygax wrote Tomb of Horrors as basically the baddest dungeon ever, designed to kill high-level, powerful characters. So my group at home, we've been through. We're doing Tyranny of Dragons. We've done Cult of the Dragon part so far. Rise of Tiamat's next, and they've got some good rolls on their treasure hoard finds and stuff. So they're feeling pretty full of themselves. So at some point, I may have to go full Tomb of Horrors on them and see if anybody lives.
Come at me, bro.
Actually, back in the day, he wrote it also, they would have competitive gaming tournaments, like if you went to one of the big cons, I guess in the 80s or something, which is very different from today's D&D. It was a competitive game, and you would get with your group of buddies and go in thinking you're tough, and you'd go up against Tomb of Horrors and see if any of you could come out alive. And there was actually like a tournament kind of thing they would do, and Tomb of Horrors was the game they used to, the great equalizer, I guess. And
Yeah, and I think the intent was not to beat the module, but to see how far you could get before you die
yeah,
in a lot of those tournament modules.
but that's very different from the way that the game is kind of aimed now. I've had a chance to look the book. I guess Ken and Janine have as well. What do you think? You just like to see more of this kind of stuff, or more original content, or?
I don't have experience with the original modules that are republished in Yawning Portal, but I do like the idea that those of us who are picking the game up at 5th edition have an opportunity to experience some of those, the greatest hits of D&D. It's kind of cool to be able to look back and say, oh, yeah, okay, so this is what people were playing, 30 years ago. It's neat. It feels like you get to touch a piece of history. The modules are written really well. Sunless Citadel, so you picked up on you don't have to fight everything. That's
As much as you want to.
as much as you might really want to. Part of that's Dungeon Master choice. They can incorporate however much role play or selective encouragement as they wish. In this case, the kobolds they have clear objectives, and it's written out in the module. So Sunless Citadel in particular is really geared toward a Dungeon Master who is either doing 5th edition for the first time or maybe Dungeon Mastering for the first time. And it helps you out. The way that it's written, it spells out everything that the party might want to do that has a consequence. So, for instance, if you're in a room that has some furniture and maybe some objects for you to explore and a couple of doors, it tells you in the writing that if your players want to make a perception check, a DC 15 will reveal this information. If they do an acrobatics check against the door, this is the DC for it to open. So it tells you without you having to kind of think through whether all of these options that characters might do. It kind of gives you those solutions already. So it's very easy. It's not like you're following a formula really. It's just you're given hints on how to resolve whether the players can get past this door, whether they can defeat this particular lock, whether they can not trip this trap when they try and go past it. So in that it's really helpful for a new dungeon master, and it's a good start. The story itself, I think, is pretty interesting. It breaks out into, spoiler alert, separate pieces, and you get to interact with some of the most well-known non-human races in Dungeons & Dragons. You get to interact with the kobolds, you get to interact with the goblins. So for a dungeon master who wants to inject some personality into their campaign, you've got an opportunity to give kobolds and goblins some real, lifelike characteristics. Some flavor. And if you've got a copy of Volos handy, Volos gives you some additional information on Goblin Society and Kobold Society to help kind of bring that to life. So you can really make them realistic and have a lot of depth. The further you get into the dungeon, there are some other things that are revealed, which I won't tell you because who knows what you might be playing later. As you get further into the dungeon, you should be progressing. So you guys will get partway through this first level, and then there will be a natural pause, and you'll calculate experience points and possibly advance a level. If you go back to some of the places that you missed as a higher level character, you can do more there. There's some puzzles that you just can't do when you first walk in to the dungeon. So in that, it's kind of cool. You're there for a couple of different reasons. You know that there's this crazy apple. You know that there's the weird saplings that are produced by the apple seeds. You know that there's some missing adventurers, and there's even some other stuff that you guys didn't talk to NPCs about and get hooks for. But you've got a couple of different reasons to go in here. You've got a complicated scenario that you can approach When you first walk in, you get some information from it. When you walk back out, if you walk back out, there are other things that you can do. You've got these very playable NPC races that can interact with you, that you can talk to, you can get information from. You could possibly befriend. You could also make them angry and fight them. And then, and all this fits together in one kind of overarching story, which you find out once you get to the heart of the dungeon. So it's really pretty cool. It's a neat scenario and plenty of opportunity for dungeon masters to be creative, even following the intent of the module, and even staying within, if you, like me, and you play a lot at stores, within the guidelines for Adventures League.
All right, friends, that's it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in yet again, and please let us know what you think. Our social media contact information is posted in the show notes as always, and we'd love to hear from psychophants and sociopaths alike. If you would, please give us a positive review on iTunes. That'll help us move up the charts and spread the word about our super awesome show. I'd like to thank our regular listeners, and until next month, keep your powder dry.
All music for the Geeks Boutique Podcast is performed, recorded, and owned by Kung Fu Lips and the Critical Hits. For booking information, please message us on our Facebook page at Geeks Boutique Lex.